I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. Sing, children. I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. Cause ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. High tonight, high tonight, high tonight, high tonight. I'm at the house on the couch and I'm trying to relax. A wet towel on my neck because I'm having a flashback. Visions in my mind about the rifle got done away. I just killed a cracker and his kids the other day. He was in my neighborhood walking with his children. I hate the motherfuckers. I figure I kill them. If they have some anger that's been trapped inside of me from slavery, years of the white man oppressing me. I stuck up on his ass fast to attack. I put on my shank, I stuck the heart to his back. I said, move, motherfucker, and I stick you with the quickness. And you'll be found in the bushes, dickless. He said, I got a wife and kids, I don't give a fuck. Hurry up and give me your money before you get stuck. He made a move too fast. I'm an Axel Muhammad, so with the quickness, I stuck his ass 5 times. His guts feel like chickens. I emptied his pockets and I went after his children. The little white bitch was crying for fear. I put my knife to her throat and cut her devil ass ear to ear. She had a brother, 4 years old. Well, he ain't gonna make 5 because he ain't alive no more. I'm drenched in blood, I had to cut, kept my knife in my hand, walked away like a nut. I seen a roller, get on patroller, hit the corner. He flashed a light on me, he said, freezing, you're a corner. Something clicked in my mind, run as fast as you can. I had a gun in my pocket, a bloody knife in my hand. So I broke to the left up on the side of the house. I put my knife away, that's when I pulled my gun out. Looked around the house, the cop was calling for backup. My pistol popped, the cop dropped, shot him in the back of the head. Now that's 4 motherfuckers dead, laying in a puddle of red. I said, all the Peckerwoods better hide tonight, hide tonight, hide tonight. All the Peckerwoods better hide tonight, hide tonight, hide tonight. I had to get to my house, I knew his backup was coming. I walked over to the pig, I took his gun and started running down a motherfucking dark ass back streets. I know they gon' be after me, trying to capture me, and I know I gotta get away. If I don't, they gonna lock me up in CYA. So I'm thinking of a plan. I don't wanna be in the pen for killing a policeman and some motherfucking white folks. I seen a white bitch coming out of the house, I grabbed her ass by the throat. Said we going back in your house, and if you open up your mouth, I'll blow your goddamn brains out. We got into a house, she said, are you gonna kill me? Is this a stick up? Do you want my money? I pulled out my gun, the hoe said please. I shot her in the chest and took her goddamn car keys. Walked outside, jumped in a Trans Am, wondering if the police know who I am. I'm halfway to the house, I seen a motherfucking cop. Now he's behind me, telling me to stop. I thought to myself, I should've shot her in the head. She lived long enough to call it goddamn feds. Now I'm in the high-speed car chase, so I better pick up the motherfucking pace. Cause if I get snatched, if I let them catch me, they slam me on my back and they'll kick me in my face, G. But I'm not taking that bullshit. The motherfucking devils don't know who they fucking with. I'm a motherfucking psycho, and police says people I don't like, so I'm not stopping. I keep smashing. The car is stolen, I don't care about crashing. I hit a corner, doing 90, I lost control. I hit a pole, but I bounced. They couldn't find me. You know that I got away. I chilled on the under at the house until the next day. In the morning, in the paper was a warning. It said, if you're white, you better hide tonight. It said, all the Peckerwoods better hide tonight, hide tonight, hide tonight. All the Peckerwoods better hide tonight, hide tonight. I'm at the house, I turned on the tube to watch the news. The reporter said 5 white folks found dead the night before last, and a suspect got away in a car crash. They couldn't place no positive identity, so that tells me I got away scot-free. I'm gonna pull another move tonight, cause I don't feel right without blood on my knife. I turned off the TV, I got dressed in my black, I put my knife in my sack, I got 2 clips from my dad. Walked outside, jumped in my ride, I had a foot take a gas, so I spotted a fast. I stopped at the liquor store, got a half on a Hindu, thinking who I'm gonna put my knife into. The time is approximately 11:33. I'm gonna go to Burger Berkeley and killed me a hit beat. So now I'm on the freeway, all by myself, so I let the tape play. And I'm bumping that crazy shit by the ghetto boys, the mind of a lunatic, and it's getting me pumped. I keep hitting the drink, so I'm getting kinda drunk. It's something about the Trinity that gives me the tendency to wanna tear everything away off your back, cut you fast from your throat to the crack of your ass. From the throat to the crack of your ass. I read the sign that said Berkeley a half a mile. I started to smile and I kept on drinking, thinking in my mind about white folks screaming. I saw another sign and I checked it. It said Berkeley, the next exit. It seemed like a second when the exit came. Turned on my blinkers and switched the lane. I got off the freeway bumping Ice Cube. Bump cause I'm drunk now, I'm looking for a double do. Rolling down a back street side, slow down. I saw two white freaks and they looking like witch. Now I'm thinking in my mind how much I like to kill white bitch. So then I jumped out, put my gun, went try to run, so I took a devil ass out. Told her to lay face down on the ground and don't make a motherfucking sound. I pulled out my knife, I kicked the hoe in the head, then I stabbed her in the back twice, but I still ain't satisfied. So I said, fuck this, jumped in the cutlass, cause I'ma make all the Peckerwoods hide. Make them all hide. I said all the Peckerwoods better hide tonight, hide tonight, hide tonight. All the Peckerwoods better hide tonight, hide tonight, hide tonight. Locked in the jail cause a white man got me. Fuck a Peckerwood, fuck a Peckerwood. I'm locked in the jail cause a white man got me. Fuck a Peckerwood, fuck a Peckerwood. I went to court and the judge detained me. Fuck a Peckerwood, fuck a Peckerwood. When I see a Peckerwood, they gonna have to restrain me. Fuck a Peckerwood, fuck a Peckerwood. Hide tonight, hide tonight, hide tonight. Hide tonight, hide tonight, hide tonight. When I think of hide tonight, hide tonight, hide tonight, hide tonight, hide tonight. 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 Make you all over for a dollar. Oh yeah.
What is good, my people? We are live, back again with a live broadcast, back on the forecast. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to y'all. I appreciate it. What up? Salute my brother Rashid all day. Erica Howard, what's going on? Erica, thank you for coming. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you're feeling better, Erica. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you can come on, and because we got to expose these people, Erica, you know what I'm saying, and everything they did. Shouts out to my brother Bakari. You know what I'm saying? And you know, hopefully my brother Bakari can come on, because look, tonight, you know, I wasn't even going to go live because I'm actually supposed to be doing other work, you know what I'm saying, more or different things. I'm really supposed to be doing something else right now. But I made myself hype, you know what I'm saying? Just watching videos and stuff like this, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to come on, and we ain't gonna be you know, too long or too serious, but it's something I do want to address. But since I did come on here, I do know that down in Georgia with my brother Bakari and Erica, and you know, even though Bakari was trying to pick on Erica, he, you know what I'm saying, his boy, you know what I'm saying, Herschel Walker may, you know what I'm saying, win down there. So, you know what I'm saying, you know, I kind of wanted to talk about that first because that's probably the most important thing, but I do want to talk about something else too, you know what I'm saying? So you know. But I don't plan on being on here long, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, if you want to join the conversation, we're not going to go left or go right or none of this stuff. But I am kind of appalled by the weakness, as a lack of words I can say, in our community, you know what I'm saying? And that goes from the bottom to the quote unquote top, you know what I'm saying? The most quote unquote talented of us, you know what I'm saying? So all right, let me go ahead and start. And yeah, Bakari, the one that you sent me, send it to my email or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So let me play this video just to all right, here go my brother Antoine DeMela right here. What up, my brother?
What's going on, man? I just sent it to your email. You heard me?
Yeah, cool. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm about to pull it up, but go ahead and introduce yourself real quick while I do that.
What's going on, everybody? Am I clear today? Because, StreamYard done punished me for a little while. They done, what's going on, Erica Howard? What's going on with my brother Rasheed Home?
Yeah, you clear right. You clear right now. So yeah, we good for right now. I'll let you know if it start messing up.
Me and Forecast we was talking earlier, so there's a couple things we're gonna talk about. Eric, I know this is the closest I done watched the election in a very long time. I just called back home to Mississippi and told my family just have a couple rooms ready. Because if Herschel Walker win, if Ketcher Freeman, that's what I call Herschel Walker, Ketcher Freeman. If Ketcher Freeman win, I'm moving in the morning, 6 a.m. If he win, I'm moving. As soon as he win, I'm just leaving everything. Ketcher Freeman.
Yeah, Bakari. Yeah, that's why I want to talk about that first, you know what I'm saying? Because it affects my brother right here, you know what I'm saying? So let's talk about something that's actually serious before, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because and the title is The Black Superhero White Savior Complex, you know what I'm saying? Because we need a black superhero, but our savior can only be white for some reason, Bakari. It's just weird, you know what I'm saying?
Yep, and when you say the black superhero, man, it can take back to what we were just talking about the other day, college. People say I'm emotional now, I'm passionate by HB. But even with that, we saw Deion as the superhero, but he went to his savior. But you know what? We did what other fans have done. Been mad because you left. That's football. It's forgivable. I never been a fan of how he did it. But I can say this, right? Even looking at that and seeing how upset we were, we supposed to keep pushing. It was a relationship of reciprocity, let's say. The HBCUs, Jackson State got some from Deion. Deion got some from Jackson State that nobody else would give him an opportunity to do. That was to be a head coach on the college level. So now what we supposed to do?
Hey, Bakari, hey, we're gonna get into Deion. I'm gonna show did you see the Bomani thing when he went on CNN?
Nah, but I was just using that because you said the savior and all that.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying we're gonna bring that up. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna talk about that. But I wanted to talk about something that affects you personally, because you just said you're gonna move out of Georgia if your boy win, you know what I'm saying? A brother with CTE, you know what I'm saying?
I'm going as soon Erica, I'm gonna miss you, Erica. I ain't gonna even have time to come to Macon and see you. Cause as soon as he win, I'm going if he win, I'm going 20 West.
Yeah, you can come here. We only got the Coon vice governor.
But y'all ain't got because y'all ain't got no Ketcher Freeman though. Herschel Walker is a Ketcher Freeman. He the white man.
No, the vice governor is.
She a Ketcher Freeman. She want to catch us. She want to have us putting our head back in the damn laughing barrel.
It seems that way. Yeah, the first thing she did was ban black activities.
Yeah, like Herschel Walker gonna make sure don't nobody. Yeah, he leading right now.
Don't go, okay.
If Herschel Walker win, now if you want to go too, you can go because Ketcher Freeman. We gonna have to get it. That what you need to pull up. I need to send you that forecast so you can see why I'm calling it Catch a Freeman from that Boondocks thing. You want that? You see why I'm calling it Catch so Uncle Ruckus can still tell the story of Catch a Freeman.
Polls and what's
They
being
be
See why
they
I'm
be
calling
trying to
him
play.
Catch a Freeman.
No, they be trying to play like if you play that, you know what I'm saying? They'll try to hit you with it, you know what I'm saying?
Now this on somebody else's channel though, man. I don't know if they care. This is somebody got all of them on their channel. But all right, I got you.
Yeah, but yeah, you can
Go ahead, let her talk right there.
All right, yeah, but you can send it. But yeah, I'm about to show. Yeah, I was waiting for you to go, but all right. So this is what's going on. Warnock or Walker, Georgia voters settle last Senate seat.
Voters in Georgia are hitting the polls in what's being a contentious battle for the U.S. Senate seat. As Ivan Rodriguez shows us, the
and Bakari, we're just gonna go through this, so just jump in whenever. You know what I'm saying?
Results will have a much bigger impact on the overall makeup of Congress.
In the battleground state of Georgia, voters once again have the final say of the election season.
Being out here to see Senator Warnock and having him kind of be part of the voice that we've been wanting for so long here in Atlanta.
When Herschel decided to run for Senate, it was a no-brainer for us.
Neither incumbent Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock nor his Republican challenger, former football great Herschel Walker, were able to bag more than 50% of the votes in November's general election, stoking an extra month-long fight for.
So here we have, all Asian lives matter versus all white lives matter.
Hey, okay. When your video playing, man, echoes and everything.
Hey, Bakari, you might have to get on your phone, Bakari. I think it's a delay. I think you got a delay and it's like you are starting to chop up. You might got to get on your phone. You hear me?
All right. Yeah, I said okay.
Okay, yeah. It taking you a while to hear me, so I'm gonna wait till you get on your phone real quick. I think you want to say something here, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna let you come on the thing. Let me know when you come on, Bakari. But as you see, you know what I'm saying, we have all Asian lives matter versus all white lives matter, you know what I'm saying? And I know my brother Bakari, is like, Herschel Walker, he's leaving the state if Herschel Walker, you know what I'm saying, comes on there. So, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, these are the choices that we have, you know what I'm saying? So let me give Bakari a second to come on to speak for herself. But all right, so Bakari, just say something when you backstage, and I'm gonna keep playing it. All right, there you go. Yo, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Man, you know what? I really wasn't having a delay last time.
No, it was taking you a minute to I was saying something. It was taking you like 15, 20 seconds to say something.
Oh, well, that I don't know what that is. That's the computer thing. Because I heard you right away. Then I say something, and it was just a delay. You hear me? That's why I kept saying, "Can you hear me?" Because I could hear you. I could hear you right away.
Oh yeah. It was taking me a minute to hear.
Yeah, I don't know why stream you are doing that. It don't even let me know how many how well I'm picking up tonight. It normally put it up there.
Did you hear the video?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you. The video was doing double. I could hear it like when you was playing it. I could something. I could hear it twice. Yeah, it was hard to hear. That's why I was saying play it again.
Okay, I got you. My bad.
It was hard to understand now.
All right, I got you. I'm gonna start it over.
And voters in Georgia are hitting the polls in what's being a contentious battle for the U.S. Senate seat. As Ivan Rodriguez shows us, the results will have a much bigger impact on the overall makeup of Congress.
In the battleground state of Georgia, voters once again have the final say of the election season.
Being out here to see Senator Warnock and having him kind of be part of the voice that we've been wanting for so long here in Atlanta.
When Herschel decided to run for Senate, it was a no-brainer for us.
Neither incumbent Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock nor his Republican challenger, former football great Herschel Walker, were able to bag more than 50% of the votes in November's general election, stoking an extra month-long fight for Warnock's U.S. Senate seat.
I can't. I can't.
I can't.
I can't.
I can't vote for Herschel Walker.
Warnock thought no one was watching when he.
That's straight. Try to use a black term. You know how we'd be like, yo, I can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, when you look at this election, as black people, like, yo, I can't. You know what I'm saying? We got to do something else. I can't do this. You know, I can't. You know, they try to take our slur and slang and use it against us. You see?
Evicted poor people from their home.
You say something, Bakar?
No, go ahead.
Homes.
The runoff is high stakes for both parties. If Walker wins, the Senate will be evenly split. If Warnock wins, Democrats will have the majority outright and won't have to rely on the vice president to break tie votes.
The stakes couldn't be higher.
I represent the great people of Georgia.
Now, with the finish line in sight and early voting shattering state records last week, the Secretary of State says he's expecting a similar turnout today.
We've actually already had 80,000 people that voted in this runoff that didn't vote in the fall at all. So that's what you're really seeing is people that were kind of sitting back and watching things are getting engaged in this race. So we think both sides are energized.
Oh man, so pretty much you see the stakes there is Asian Lives Matter versus White Lives Matter, and the leader, that means the House will be, if Warnock wins, then the House will be racism behind our back, you know what I'm saying, and stabbing us in the back. But if he loses, then the Senate will be the racism blading in our face. So the stakes is higher here, you know what I'm saying? And we see with Georgia voters, which my brother, we got a Georgia voter on the panel. So, you know what I'm saying? That's an excellent thing here, you know what I'm saying? And jump in anytime, Bakar, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just only a couple videos with this, you know what I'm saying? Yo, and shouts out to you, Raw. What up, Raw?
I'm going to be honest, man. Catcher Freeman can't win. I have what I say about Democrats, and I have a problems with a couple of things with Warnock. But I can say this, and the only thing I gave one when I do give him credit, I give credit what credit's due. When the bill was written for black farmers, he had to switch it and make it safe for farmers of color, minority farmers. But he made sure everybody had to get in line after black folks. That party Herschel Walker is representing and the people he's representing, those are the people that went and sued along with those other minority farmers and farmers of color to make sure the money get held up and black farmers didn't get nothing. So that's what he's representing. The case is still in court, but that's what Herschel Walker is representing, right? So with me, and for people, black people who's not farmer, right? If you're not a farmer, it's okay that we're not farmers. We say we want more farmers, so we should be pulling for our farmers to get this money, to get this land, to get incentives, right? So they can grow and we can start working with them. For me, that's very important. And what Herschel Walker is representing, he's actually representing people. He's representing the people that's against, and I'm not talking about just a political party, just the type of people that he's representing and who Catcher Freeman is with, their attack dog. He's absolutely representing. Don't let the black farmers get what they deserve. You know, he's absolutely representing that. So no, he Catcher Freeman can't win. He gonna fool around and have, because he gonna make sure ain't no CTR in school. The only black man I know, well, he's the second black man I know with OK being called a coon. That's not a bad thing. They one of the smartest animals out there. You know, we don't want those type of people. It's even though he is black, he don't represent us. But when people look at him, it's like a representation of us, and he's absolutely he's an absolute idiot. He sounds so uneducated. I have known, and when I'm saying educated, I ain't talking about necessarily just a college education, just the way that he sounds. You don't want to just call nobody dumb, but I'm gonna call him dumb. I guess I do want to call him.
He got brain injuries, Bakari.
Yeah, he got CTE. Yeah, while he worried about CTR, he need to be worried about CTE. You know, he need to be worried about CTE. So he can't win. If he win, I'm out.
At Bakari, so with the title of the thing, you know what I'm saying? Would you say Herschel Walker is a black superhero for the white savior? You know, like, listen to the question, like a black superhero for the white savior. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how Black Panther,
he's the black.
Like, yo, hold on, let me say this, because like, yo, you know how Black Panther in the movie, the superhero was Black Panther, but ultimately, and his sister, you know what I'm saying? But ultimately, his sister helped the CIA agent stop Killmonger for getting vibranium or vibranium to black people around the world to help themselves, you know what I'm saying? And they helped the CIA agent, and they was the hero, you know what I'm saying? So would you say, I know you already got it. I just had to throw that in there. My bad. But yeah, go ahead.
I know you had to throw it in to make sure everybody to make sure it's understood. I got you. Make your understanding understood. Yeah, that's what he is. That's exactly what he is. He's not the spook that's sitting by the door. He just by the door waiting to attack us. Don't want black people to have anything. Like, you should also play his thing on reparations. And you know me, I'm a firm believer. They ain't gonna give you nothing. But when this guy here go to talk, well, the white people, the white slave, they should have to get reparations too. So you should play that so people can understand what I mean by when I say he's the white man's attack dog. That's what he is. He's gonna do everything they want done. Anything they write in a bill, they write anything, put his name to it. So then when you say something, they're gonna say, see, he's for them, so they can say black people can't say racism and bigotry because they're gonna say a black man did it. That's his purpose. He's being used, and I would say I don't think he's smart enough to know that, or maybe he is smart enough to know that he's being used. I don't know, but I don't think so. I don't think he know, but that's all he is. He's their token. Remember when we were talking? I think it was you, and we were talking, and I was talking about the one black person in the mountain. When you stop in them little mountain towns, the one black person. Did I ever tell you about that? When you stop in them little white nationalist towns in the mountains here in Georgia, in Alabama.
Yeah, I've been to those places.
The one black person that lived there is extremely docile. Don't call him no brother. He extremely docile, walking around with the head down around him. That's Herschel Walker. That's Herschel Walker. But go ahead, I yield the mic.
No, yeah, you see, you're saying facts. I've been to one of those little small towns, and you know, and then they got the fat white girl is the one that date the black dude. You know what I'm saying? And like Ross said, only 1% of black farmers now own the land, which is, you know, detrimental to us. You know what I'm saying? And I saw a thing, and it was a debate, and you can be on whatever.
Hey, let
side.
me say something right quick. Let me say something.
Go ahead.
That's why that bill being passed is important, because the land, a lot of land and money and everything was going to go back into the hands of black farmers. That's why it's important. Go ahead. That's all I want to say.
No, yeah, you're right. And there's a debate, you know what I'm saying, that I saw like this, and I don't know how true it is because I didn't do no research on it, but a black couple in New York bought a lot of farmland and sold it. And the debate is they made like $5 million off of this land. But the point is, you know what I'm saying, they bought a lot of land and just sold it off. So people were saying, well, it's stupid because they would have had a lot more had they kept it. But other people were saying, well, no, they made like $5 million in a year. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't really see either side talking about how important it is to have land to build your own stuff, and especially farmland that they was talking about. You know what I'm saying? But especially in rural areas like, you know, Georgia, Virginia. And Virginia is crazy because we got places where it's cotton fields everywhere, but it's also those mountain areas like Bakari talking about where the hills have eyes type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you're strapped up, you don't want to get pulled over or get a flat tire out there. You know what I'm saying? Or it could be some cross burning lynching stuff going on. And if you ever been to the backwoods in Virginia or Georgia, then you would know that. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, and it is a couple of black people that live out there, and I don't even know how they can live out there, but you know what I'm saying. So all right, let's keep going, Bakari, and jump in unless you want to say something. I'm gonna keep going.
Georgia's Senate runoff. Voting began this weekend after the state's Supreme Court denied a Republican bid to block voting on the Saturday after Thanksgiving. As many as 22 of the state's 159 counties let voters cast their ballots on Saturday. The runoff between Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock and Republican challenger Herschel Walker is next Tuesday, December 6th. Meanwhile, Senator Warnock is out with a new ad that shows voters just simply reacting in real time to Herschel Walker's puzzling campaign speeches.
Just handed him the mic. Said, "Here you go, Herschel. Talk."
They just play the video for them and take a look.
Here we go.
You ever watch a stupid movie late at night, hoping it's gonna get better, don't get better, but you keep watching it anyway? Because the other night I was watching this movie. I was watching this movie called Freak Night, or some type of night, but it was about vampires. I don't know if you know vampires are cool people.
What the hell is he talking?
Now I ain't gonna front. I feel that one, Bakari, and I'm gonna make it make sense for you, right? Because you think right now you watching the scary movie play out between Asian Lives Matter and the Democrats and All Lives Matter and them. You know what I'm saying? You seeing it play out, and you to the point where if this dude win, I'm leaving the state. So you watching the scary movie play out, like we literally watching the scary movie play out, you know what I'm saying? And it don't get no better, and you keep watching it anyway, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand where he was coming from with that. You feel me?
Yeah, you know, I guess he think he the vampire. I don't know, man. It don't get no better, but you just keep watching anyway. Yeah. I guess that's what it is, but
he was kicking knowledge.
You know what? It don't get better, but it can get worse. And Herschel is worse. Now you hear the
All right, Bakari's trying to get deep. Okay, I feel you, Bakari.
Talking about?
Is he serious? Is he for real?
But I'm gonna tell you something that I found out. A werewolf can kill a vampire. Did you know that? I never knew that, so I didn't want to be a vampire anymore. I want to be a werewolf.
Oh my God.
All right, okay. I'm with him, okay? Because bloodsuckers, think about it, right? You know, like I think succubus are real. Like psychopaths could be like succubus. They suck your energy and they drain your energy and use it for your own good. Like you know how they took us and we built their nation for their own good and they blame it out. But he's saying a werewolf, you know what I'm saying, can beat that, you know what I'm saying? So if you turn into beast mode and just like, yo, forget all of this. I don't care what the world thinks about me. You could beat a vampire. You feel me? You feel me?
Yeah, because and the vampires, you know, and they real cool people too. But you can turn, and it's more vampires. It's more vampires than werewolves, everything. But the werewolves can kill a vampire. Ain't that something? You right.
Yeah, I don't know about saying love vampires though. I can't justify the love vampires part.
No, I say it's more vampire.
Yeah.
I said it's more vampires. See, in this case, they're gonna be the vampires, and we got to be the werewolves. So it's more vampires, but we can kill the vampire. But we can't let Herschel Walker become a werewolf with us, though, because we got to let him remain a vampire.
All right, okay. He's been knowledge though here.
He's talking about vampires and werewolves right now.
Y'all serious about this, right? So
Yeah.
I've been telling this little story about this bull out in the field with 6 cows. And 3 of them are pregnant.
There's no substance. There's nothing.
So you know you got something going on.
It makes me want to laugh.
See, well, I was about to say something, but the brother came on. He would have disproved me.
And then it makes me think we're in trouble.
But all he cared about is kept his nose against the fence, looking at 3 other cows that didn't belong to him. Now all he had to do is eat grass.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about with that one, Bukar. I don't know about that one. He said,
Don't nobody know what he talking about, and none of them.
all right, I can make the first one make sense. Let me try to make this one. Let me see.
Field with 6 cows.
3 pregnant cows in
And
the
3 of
field.
them are pregnant.
There's no substance. There's nothing.
So you know you got something going on.
Everyone, he always say pregnant. 3 of them pregnant.
He said,
He
so
can't say that word.
he said, you know something going on, so you know something going on. You know what I'm saying? You know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So 3 pregnant cows. Okay. So let me see who the pregnant cows in this scenario is. He's speaking. This is African metaphors. He's speaking, and he's just confused, and it's coming out in a European way. That's all this is. You know what I'm saying? So let me try to dissect this.
And then it makes me think we're in trouble.
But all he cared about is kept his nose against the fence, looking at 3 other cows that didn't belong to him.
I don't know what them blowing to him means. Okay, so I don't know what he means by. But keeping your nose to the fence, so you got to protect your queens. You know what I'm saying? You have pregnant women in the barn. You know what I'm saying? And you got to keep your nose to the fence and have a perimeter around you and your family and stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? So you got to keep your ear to the fence. I don't know what the wind and blown to the whatever. I don't know what the wind and blown mean. Maybe that's an Atlanta slang or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But
he from Riceville. He ain't from Atlanta though. That's Riceville, whatever the hell it's called. That's like.
All right.
Now all he had to do is eat grass.
This video is ridiculous.
So okay, he protected his outside. So once you protect your community, all you got to do is eat the grass. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is build amongst yourselves. You know what I'm saying? It's just pastures everywhere for us to eat together. You know what I'm saying? You spread knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Except for the wind blowing 3 of them in or something. I don't know what he was saying with that one.
That's 35 seconds of my life I'll never get back.
Why would I want someone like that leading the state of Georgia?
Our good air decided to float over to China, bad air.
Unbelievable.
So when China gets our good air, their bad air gotta move.
It's all the same air.
Not only does it make no sense, I don't even understand what he thinks he's saying.
So it moves over to our good air spaces. And now we gotta clean that back up.
I sit and watch these on Twitter.
All right. So listen, right? We understand, right? You're talking about, and listen, Bakari, this is only me speaking here. I'm not going to implicate you in what I'm about to say here, right? Because we're talking about the Chinese virus era here, you know what I'm saying? And we understood where it came from, right? Because we can talk about how, because right, they could say the monkey virus or all of that stuff or whatever they tried to say the strain out of Africa was, right? So we know where the original Chinese strain came from. And it came from like the bats and dogs they eat. So the air from the bats and dogs, you know what I'm saying, then came over here, you know what I'm saying? So it's a metaphor for us allowing other people to come in our country, you know what I'm saying? Well, you know, I'm not speaking for me, I'm speaking for him when he say our country, you know what I'm saying? Because he's running for a political office, right? So we allow, you know what I'm saying, other groups to come in our country and pollute the air within our communities, the Black communities, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know what I'm saying, now we got to clean that air up, and then we send that air back to, you know what I'm saying, China, you know what I'm saying, teaching them how not to eat dogs and stuff. You feel me? You feel me, Bakari? I think
it's impossible to straighten up. It's impossible to straighten up a Herschel Walker speech. I hear what you're saying. I understand the Chinese people is the air. So what was the good air from our country, according to Herschel, that went to China? See, you got to play because our air went over there. Because he said our air went over there.
Okay. All right, so he Black, right? And he's speaking in African metaphors, right? And we know that Chinese people is going into Africa, you know what I'm saying, exploiting the people and sending it back over there. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So he's pretty much talking about how we letting Chinese people come over here, exploit us, and send it back. Because even in America, they come in our communities. You know what I'm saying? I look like, oh, blah, hurry up and buy. And then that money, right? And I know a lot of y'all be going to get like the massages from them shops and stuff like this. So you send the money back over to the home to send more of them over here. And we got to clean that up. You know what I'm saying? So we actually building China by supporting them in our neighborhoods. There you go, Bakari. Yo, hey, Bobby, shouts out to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let this speak on this, but I hope you stay because I saw your comment on something about some European Marxist, is it black stuff, you know what I'm saying? And I hope you stay around because it made me do this in the first place. But I had to break down the African metaphors from Herschel Walker here.
What's up, Bobby? Hey, try to hit the link again, Bobby, with your phone, because there's been a couple times you tried to come up and your device wouldn't connect. I had to get on my phone and talk, so maybe your phone will work. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep Bakari in Atlanta after, you know what I'm saying, his boy win. Because he's spitting some African metaphors that Bakari is just not getting right now. That's all. So, you know, yeah, there you go, Bakari. He's talking about the, you know, Chinese people taking our resources, sending it back to China. That's what he's talking about. All right, okay, Bakari. So I guess Bakari.
Go ahead, let him play. Go ahead, let him play.
What the heck is this guy talking about? Like, literally, what is he talking about?
He's completely unqualified for this really, really serious job.
No one's watching this and being like, oh man, that guy's got it together.
And sometimes, like, I read through the comments because I'm like, is anybody actually understanding, or are we just sitting here wasting time?
It is embarrassing. Let's call it what it is. It is embarrassing.
They just care about getting a yes man. Somebody that had just punched the button.
I think it's a risk to me and millions of Georgians to put this man in a position of power.
Let's call it what it is. This is embarrassing as hell.
At all. I mean, well.
All right, that was all of them. This is the other one, Bakari. Let me see. I can't run it back. I don't think I can run it back or make this bigger.
Today, and people think that was a bad turn. That's the guys on front of the country. If you know anything about a coon, he's one of the smartest animals out there.
Before leaving.
They called me a coon the other day, and people think that was a bad turn. That's the guys on front of the country. If you know anything about a coon, he's one of the smartest animals out there.
Before leaving.
Facts, Bakari. Facts. What you got to say about that?
Facts. That man letting you know he's proud to be a coon. Look, I'm trying to find his other speech. What he said to send you, what he played about the oh man, let me do this again. Let me see if I can find this right.
What?
Because I got one more speech for you. I got one more speech.
All right. Yeah, because this is the last one right here. And then we're gonna go to the Deion Sanders we was talking about, and we're gonna bring the black superhero, white savior complex thing back up. And we're gonna go through this kind of quick so we don't get caught up on here. We making good time though right now. So because
but a coon, Bobby laughing, but that coon smart, Bobby.
Yeah.
Let me make sure this is.
And people think that was a bad turn.
Right.
Guys on front of the country. If you know anything about a coon, he's one of the smartest animals out there.
Before leaving.
They call me.
Now you would actually have to accept being an animal though. Monkeys are also smart animals, right? But we don't accept being called monkeys though. So I don't know. Yo, Bakari, send it to my email too, Bakari.
I just emailed it to you.
Okay. All right. So
that's supposed. Oh man, hold on. That ain't even it. They didn't even. I googled. Man, I thought that was it. My bad. Don't. You can delete those. Yeah, man. That's where he was, but.
Facts,
man.
Facts, Bobby. A raccoon be knowing what's up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about eating trash and nothing like that, but I'm just saying, like, the mind of a raccoon, because that's what whatchamacallit is talking about. He's saying the mind of a raccoon knows that sometimes, you know what I'm saying, it's okay to play the sidelines, because when you catch the person slipping, well, look, I don't know enough about raccoons to, you know what I'm saying, say that one. So, but you know what? Y'all give more passes to Coons than I do.
Hey, look, you see what Bobby put on there? Yeah. Hey, Bobby, if you hunt them, yeah, they real smart till they put their hand in something to get the shiny object and can't let it go.
Man, y'all eating raccoons?
Sweet meat on the table. Sweet meat on the table.
All right. Hey, Bakari, so you got another one you want me to play?
I can't find it, man. As bad as I want you to play the one about that gas guzzling, I cannot find it. Oh, my goodness. That was the dumbest one for a long time. But since it ain't the dumbest in a long time, it's hard to find that one.
You know, I mean.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. But yeah, go ahead and say everything you want to say as a Georgia voter on that before we go to the Deion thing and the superhero and all of that.
I already told you I'm leaving, man. If Herschel Walker win, I'm out.
You ain't get the African proverbs just dropping?
Nah, you can fool around and call Herschel Walker African if you want to. You can call her you.
Just because you're a coon don't make you not. It don't change your DNA. It's because you're cooning.
I say you can call him an African. I ain't. Herschel Walker gonna do something to you. That's what I'm talking about. He done already got mad and said he tired of black people running around talking about something. They're a black American or they African American. Man, you just an American. He done already got mad and told you that.
Hey, Bakari, can I say something? Can I
Go
say
ahead.
something? I think I do think African American is a slur.
What about black American?
I think black American is a slur.
Yeah, Herschel Walker already said, stop calling yourself that. You're just an American.
But do you know why?
Oh, why?
Because that means you are African that's been Americanized, right? And that was my thought before any of this stuff happened. That's why I was like, I used to call back in the day. I used to call people like Sheriff David Clark an African American because he was an African that's been Americanized. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying, just for an example. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got
you. Yeah, African in America, black person that's in America right now. Yeah. But all right, yeah. So
I can't find the other one.
All right. So let's go to we'll come back to it if you find it, Bakari. Did you see this video? I know. Well, I asked you earlier. You was like, you want to see this video about Bomani Jones speaking about Deion Sanders. So I'm gonna play it, and whenever you want to stop it, just stop it because I ain't gonna play all of it because it's like 9 minutes. But I'm gonna try to play some of it.
Staffs assembled some of the best scouts.
New University of Colorado head football coach Deion Sanders promising fans and his new players that he is going to bring the winning culture he established at Jackson State and HBCU in Mississippi to his new team.
How about that?
Listen to that applause, Bakari.
Yeah, how about that?
They talking about you, critics. They talking about you, Bakari. Critics accuse Deion Sanders of being a sellout. So Deion Sanders, CNN did a whole segment about you, Bakari.
So Sanders is now being criticized as a so-called sellout for leaving Jackson after many envision him altering the landscape of sports at historically black colleges and universities. He did land top recruits. He went 27-5 in 3 seasons and just won the school's second Southwestern Athletic Conference title in 2 years. Sanders will now try to replicate that success in a more competitive league with a Colorado team that just went 1-11. So joining us now, the perfect person to talk about that, Bomani Jones, a third-generation HBCU graduate who went to Clark Atlanta University. He's also the host of Game Theory with Bomani Jones, which will kick off its second season on HBO and HBO Max in January. Wow, that is a giant lead-in to you. You have lots of accomplishments. Thank you.
Now, all right, your boy just right? We just heard what your boy had to say about Kyrie Irving and stuff.
This morning. So, this is, I kind of feel like we're talking about family business, like in front of everybody. You know what I'm talking about? Because there's a long tradition in the African American community about HBCUs and whether you go, whether you're not, and why can't Deion Sanders just choose to be with who he wants to be?
Oh, he can go take whatever job he wants, but when you come into the first job and sell the idea that you are going to be the savior of HBCUs and you are going to raise the playing field, not just for Jackson State, but for everybody else, and you're going to do it because God told you to do it.
He said that.
Yeah, he said that. He explicitly said that God sent him to do this. So then when you leave, yeah, people are going to ask questions about what exactly it was. Now, I don't go into the sellout place necessarily, but I do think, he's the monorail salesman from The Simpsons. He went in, he sold the big dream. Now, if you paid any attention, you knew the dream he was selling wasn't possible. It was not an achievable one that he had, but he sold it and he got people to believe it, and then he chucked the deuce and left.
So, you know Shannon Sharpe,
right? Hold on one second.
Yeah.
When he say it's not achievable,
basically
he's saying HBCUs would never be able to defeat any of these PWI schools. That's the dream Deion sold. So that's what he is saying. See, that should even motivate people in the HBCUs listening to him. And you know what? So academically, white people you hear people say the HBCUs is less. So when you got black people with it, it's not even achievable. So in his mind, black people could never be better than white folk. I get a mic.
Yeah, Bakari, but also it's not that black people can't, but the problem with not being able to do that is the moves that Deion Sanders makes, because what he does, there's a lot of people out there, and I know you wanted to talk about this, Bakari, there's a lot of people out there that's getting on to people that's mad about him doing that. And the problem is you can't say that, tell black children not to go to the predominantly white schools and to come to HBCUs and sell them on this black, dream stuff, and you really don't mean it, You can sell it if you mean it, because it's something that is actually needed. And we saw the growth in the positivity that came out of his time there. And imagine what 20 years of that would have done. That's the thing with black people. We're a little bit short-sighted, because 20 years, like 5 years, he probably would have been beating their schools. But I'm talking about lasting legacies and dynasties and creating a whole new platform and a whole new way of looking at stuff. Imagine what a 20-year run of this would have done, But we tend to, and what he did, reaffirms the idea that black schools are not good enough, and it ultimately reaffirms to black children who's watching, but ultimately to other, people who may be in Deion Sanders' position, that I would rather go to a white school than a black school because it's better, even though I sold this dream about black schools, by selling this dream, you making us seem like, well, this can't be done, so let me just ultimately go integrate and try to get us into their institutions, But he ultimately the whole time had his own motivations for coming to a black school, and that's a part of a program he was selling. The problem is he may not have believed it, and then he threw in God, but we're gonna get into that because he's gonna mention that. But we're gonna keep playing because he's gonna mention God and a whole bunch of stuff that you mentioned, Bakari. But you can say what you want to say, throughout whatever.
Hey, I'm finna send you. I got something else I want to send you. This is about this. So when they go to talking about how everybody gonna transfer once we get through all this, I want you to see one young black man that's staying strong.
Yeah. And also, like you said, they didn't have the money, because I also meant to get that, but I did this quick, the dude.
Want me to send it to you?
Yeah. I don't know. It's an article. I don't want to read nothing. It was a tweet that I seen that would have made it big,
Well, you ain't got to read the whole article. You can just show the headline.
Yeah. But yeah, you could do that. And Bobby said, let me see what Bobby said. I take the position that the NCAA got spooked. They saying the top black players going to HBCUs as a threat to their money, right? I think they bought Deion, just my opinion. But this goes on to the whole thing, and this is why I wanted to talk about the classism and the Marxism BS that they try to sell. Like, and I just noticed the whole theme that comes with it. And I'm not gonna say all people who say certain things have certain ideologies. I just recognize a whole new ideology I didn't really know about. So that's why I want to talk about that next. But yeah, like they use money to destroy things because they were so pissed off about seeing top recruits go to black schools. And even though some of these schools produce some of these people who we're going to talk about, you know what I'm saying, it's still black institutions. And the meaning is just like the heavyweight championship, you know what I'm saying? Even though they know they control the industry, a black man, and well, I'm talking about in the 1920s especially, you know what I'm saying, or 10s, a black man controlling the heavyweight championship is a sign or a threat to their dominance, you know what I'm saying? So black players and black young youth uplifting HBCUs is a threat to the dominance. All that money they make off of these college athletes, you know what I'm saying? Like how Alabama was in the spotlight for a while, USC, all of that. You don't think that black students going to the black schools is going to equal black dominance? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're going to offer money.
Yep. You know something, Bobby? That's what I said. And most people don't see it. People who don't, me and my homeboy, he called me messing with me today. Man, you ain't talk to me. You want to hear my voice. Because he told me, he a Deion fan. He said, man, he been told me, man, don't buy into that stuff Deion saying. It sound good, man. Deion by Deion. He saying, you going to see that. And think about this. The University of Colorado fired a black head coach after 2.5 years, right? They used a black coach that was bringing up HBCUs. Now, it's up to us to continue to ride the wave. We don't turn our back because Deion gone. So what? We still support and ride the wave, right? Because the wave is still big. All we got to do is keep supporting. But anyway, they used the coach that they fired was a 2-time Pac-12 Coach of the Year. They fired him. They brought in Deion to replace a black man, right? They brought in a black man to replace a black man. They took a black man from a black school that was bringing it up. He came in with his dream, right? You know, and they got him away from that. Now, so what I'm saying is, Bobby, I absolutely agree with what you're saying, that he was bought. And I don't think he understands. But look how crazy it is. They bought him with him knowing they don't have the money to pay him what he agreed on. Now, I told Forecast and anybody else that want to bet me, none of those black athletes like Shannon Sharpe and all them that came up with money or attempted to come up with money to try to keep him at Jackson State, I'm willing to bet you that's who come up with the money for him to stay at Colorado. All you got to do is look and see who's happy he's gone. Your white people gonna come, but it's gonna be some black athletes who didn't give nothing while he was at Jackson State.
You don't think that white boy who said gobble money gonna contribute?
No, that white dude ain't gonna contribute nothing.
Okay. All right, yo, because
Bobby's right.
Yeah. Hey, so Bakari, he gonna bring up what you were saying about selling the dream and God and stuff. So I really want to show that part.
Right. So
I can't keep giving a pass to this. You know what I'm saying? I'd be nice to people because I don't want to get people's religion or their beliefs brought into this. But this weakness part has to be eradicated from it. You can believe what you want to believe, but the weakness part, you can't be around me, you know what I'm saying, and have that survive, you know what I'm saying? Or we're going to be repelled apart, you know what I'm saying? Since y'all want to talk deep all the time, you know what I'm saying? You ain't going to be around me with all that BS, You know what I'm saying?
And you've heard his comments.
Yes.
I'm sure. I want to play them for our audience because Shannon Sharpe has a sort of a rising tide lifts all boats. If he did it for Jackson State, then maybe that helped the entire HBCU. Let's play this, and I want your response to it.
Zach was diagnosed with.
They're gonna play Shannon Sharpe right here, Bakari. And my bad for the commercials.
Did something that very few coaches are able to do. He leveraged his relationships. Skip, no football team had more uniforms than Jackson State except the University of Oregon. Under Armour, every single week, they got new helmets. They got new unis. He did this with Walmart. He took $150,000 of his salary and helped finish building the facilities.
He did?
He leveraged his relationship with American Airlines. He brought eyes to HBCUs, Skip. There wasn't nobody talking about HBCUs, especially now. They're talking about, they're on television. That's because of him.
Hey, did he go to a HBCU? Bakari?
Yeah, Shannon Sharpe went to Savannah State.
So isn't he on TV?
Yeah, he's on TV. He went to an HBCU.
So he said nobody talks about HBCUs until now. So why didn't he talk about Savannah State until now? Well, he still ain't talked about Savannah State, but HBCUs until now.
Because he don't care.
All right.
He gave you a blueprint. Now follow the blueprint.
He's saying basically mission accomplished. What do you think?
Well, I mean, part of it, and I love Shannon to death, part of where I disagree with him is so much of that was singular to Deion Sanders. Like, we do have to admit that he is the charismatic individual. Like, just because Deion could do it doesn't mean that everybody else can do it. That's the first part. The second thing, they're going to play in the Celebration Bowl, I believe, next week in Atlanta against the champions of the MEAC. They played in that bowl game last year. South Carolina State blew their doors off in that game. Do you know the head coach at South Carolina State? Can you name a single player at South Carolina State? I can't. It brought attention to Deion. It brought attention to Jackson State. You weren't going to bring attention to all these other schools in the time period that he was there. Like, if he was really going to accomplish that, that's a 10-year program, at least.
You're saying he had to stay.
Yeah.
And so 60 Minutes profiled him just like a month or two ago. And it was on that program. He said, I believe that God called me collect and I had to accept the charges. And then he said this. Let's play it.
A lot of folks.
Guy was on the main line and he accepted that, but
sit back with Twitter fingers and talk about what they're gonna do, and I wanted to go do it.
Do what?
Change lives, change the perspective of HBCU football, make everyone step up to the plate and do what's right by these kids.
Didn't he do that at least by starting it? And now, as Shannon was saying,
Pause that. Hey, Raw, he meant children. Go ahead.
I didn't even see what she said.
Raw didn't say nothing, but Deion said he wanted to change lives of kids. So I'm letting Raw know that he really meant children.
No, he said no. He wanted to change lives of kids, white people. She was right.
No, this why he went. He talking about why he went to Jackson State now. That's what he talking about.
Oh yeah,
why he went to Jackson State. So I'm just letting Raw know that he meant children. He didn't mean kids.
Yeah. You're right. It says Shannon Sharpe say he wanted to go to Georgia the other day. He don't realize building institution instead of building theirs. Right? We don't have a plan for our children. It's just about us integrating into their societies. Let's be real, having sex with they white bitches, So yeah, he said he didn't want to go to Savannah. He wanted to go to Georgia. I'm pretty sure. Deion, let's be real, Bakari, because before this, Deion wanted to go to one of their schools and he couldn't. And he could go to HBCU. And he did positive things, but he may have, and he gonna mention it here, but he could have possibly used it as a stepping stone and used black people for his own good. You know what I'm saying? All right.
Others to carry it forward.
I mean, if he can go find another Deion Sanders, Right? Like, that's the thing of this, is that if you're talking about establishing something long term, right? Something that is sustainable, the idea he got it started, now you go do it.
But aren't you making his blueprint argument? Because there are others who are in the NFL or former NFL players who are charismatic,
Who could do it,
and who could step into
Deion
other
Sanders has
HBCUs.
spent the last 35 years telling us there ain't but one Deion Sanders. And now he's telling us go find somebody else to do what Deion Sanders does. You can't have this both ways. I don't judge him for taking the job at Colorado. They probably increased his salary by something like 15 times, right? I totally get that. It all makes sense. But
I ain't got it queued up, but must be the money.
what he did was something that college coaches do all the time, which is you have to sell people 4-year, 10-year plans when your plan is always 1 year at a time. That's the only way that you could really pull that off. And so he came in and he sold a long-term vision for what was going on at Jackson State, but his goals and ambitions were always to be a Power 5 head coach. My take has always been he went to Jackson State primarily because he wanted to be a head coach, but didn't want to ever be anybody's assistant coach. So he had to find somebody that would give him a job and make him a head coach, and so he could have that on his resume, and then he could take that to try to get the job that he actually wanted. Jackson State was the place that could do it, and he did a lot of good work while he was at Jackson State. But all the bigger, great...
Hey, pause that. Because, see, I hate when people omit a whole lot of the truth, right? When he said he didn't want to be nobody's assistant. What he did in that statement, he omitted truth. Did nobody want him to be an assistant? He was complaining that he only could get an interview for a position coach, like he could be a DB position. He didn't have a coordinating. He didn't have none of that. If he was going to be an assistant, he was going to be lower tier assistant, way at the bottom, position coach.
Hey, Bakari, I want you to say this, so keep saying this after I say this, but I want you to know with this brother, I don't want you to like bring unnecessary heat to him, because really he's trying to say the positive stuff first because he's on CNN, but he's gonna bring like kind of, you know, say that, but he's trying to be like, yo, well, he did this, this, and this, but you know what I'm saying, the reason why we're mad, but it's because the stuff that you're saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, go ahead and say that because he don't get into detail about it, you know what I'm saying, because he's on CNN. So go ahead and keep breaking it down, though. You know what I'm saying? But I want you to know so you don't really, but not that he deserves it, but because he just sold out Kyrie Irving. But yeah, go ahead.
He done sold out. You want to see some interviews with him? You want to hear him bowing down? But mine is okay. But I can show you what he done bowed down too. But anyway, I ain't talking about Kyrie Irving. But anyway, yeah, he didn't tell the whole truth, right? He is lying by omitting. He omitted some things out of that context. So he didn't tell the full truth. Deion was complaining. People on TV, them same black folks that happy he gone to Colorado, was complaining because he couldn't get an opportunity to even be an what is it called? To even be an offensive coordinator, a defensive coordinator, right? So I'm going to say it like this again for Deion. It was reciprocity in the relationship with him and Jackson State. Jackson State benefited from Deion. Deion benefited more from Jackson State in that short time than Jackson State benefited from him, because not only when he decided to leave, he asked the players on his team, the ones who going to transfer, don't go jump in that transfer portal. It's going to be a dog. Y'all need to come talk to me, letting you know that if you're going to transfer, talk to me, and I'm going to let you know if I want you. Basically is what he's saying. He want everybody to transfer to him. That's what I take from that, but he left a lot of stuff out of that. And Deion was absolutely out-coached against South Carolina State. If anybody watched that game, because I did and know football, he was absolutely. And now I'm not just going to but I'll be honest about stuff I've been honest about. He was out-coached, and there's a whole lot of more stuff I'm going to say that's going to be exposed now that they're gone. But I get the mic.
All right.
for somebody else. No, it was what it always is. He did it for Deion, and that's fine if you don't tell us that you're trying to do this for somebody else.
But can't he do both? Can't he go to a program and be there for 3 years? Only have
The white girl tried to drop now. You see how she tried to be like, oh yeah, whatever. This is your friend, by the way, y'all. This is the white girl that y'all bought because she probably got a black kid, and you know she's so nice. And this is the white girl you can give some ribs to, Bakari. She be like, oh, what is this barbecue you Negroes use? You know what I'm saying? But I'm not. I love Negroes, but you know, that's neither here nor there. So
have 5 losses like he did and bring the attention. Maybe the next person won't be, prime time. They won't be as charismatic as he is, but he still did bring attention to it. And what I've seen from the athletic director and other people is they were grateful for him and they talked about him going on, and something he signaled because of the financial disparities here.
No, he's very good, but I think the magnitude of the financial disparity is so much greater than anybody realizes. I think the magnitude of the financial disparity between HBCUs and other FCS schools, the smaller division in Division I, is bigger than people realize it is. So there's room to criticize him for the way that he has left and for the fact that his initial rhetoric is not in line with his ultimate.
Then what would you have him do? What would you have the man do?
Oh, well, I wouldn't have.
I can't. Donald was like, yo, they call me coon all the time. What do I have to do to not be called a coon? Yeah, how about not cooning? How about that?
I mean, in the first place, it said that God sent me here to fix HBCUs, and God decided that in the middle of it, you were supposed to leave, right? I mean, like the thing I've said is maybe God wants 10% of $5 million and not 10% of 375. If God can do math, I can understand why it is. He sold a dream and then walked out on the dream. People have the right to be critical of that. I also would have taken the job that he took at Colorado, right? It's not a judgment of the fact that he took the job, but this is not in line with what he told us for all these years.
But the reason I'm glad we're having this conversation.
Now, before this white bitch get in here, like I know I might have offended y'all. I'm sorry to y'all for calling y'all white bitch a white bitch. You know what I'm saying? Listen, this whole God thing, you know what I'm saying? See, a lot of us try to lean on this God thing as an excuse, man. It makes near a bit of sense, you know what I'm saying? Unless you're saying God is manifest in yourself, you know what I'm saying? Because if God sent him on this mission, like he said, God always somehow falls short to alleviate whatever. God only made it worse because not only did people have faith, but the people who have faith now have less faith, less hope than before, which is ultimately worse than not coming at all. You know what I'm saying? And we always rely on this God and this, you know what I'm saying? We all get along and we love each other mindset. And this is completely ridiculous. I'm going to start being real about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to stop biting my tongue because I get that we are humanitarians. You know what I'm saying? We understand what life is and we value life and we fit in with the universe. But ultimately, self-protection don't have nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? So like, yo, leaning on God and this love and this, we all can get along and maybe I'm making a way in their institutions. You're going to have to drop that. You know what I'm saying? And like, as of now, I can't keep making excuses for God, no matter which God it is that you're talking about, Allah or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? If you praying to the same one that's falling short and not only not coming there for you, but coming to lift your hopes up and then make you fall flat on your face to lose more hope. You know what I'm saying? That's a guy you may even consider maybe your enemy. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, you know, but I don't know. So
I'm going to tell you something else what he just said, right? He said the big disparity against FCS, the smaller D1 schools, which that's what the SWAC was, FCS. So the number 1 team in the nation at the beginning of the season was Eastern Washington University, right? Eastern Washington University just signed an extension. I read if I go through this article, but I was skimming, I could find where he was offered somewhere else, but he decided to stay. But he only make $188,000 a year. So don't try, because they're trying to act like HBCUs just paying way less and doing way worse than SC. And I don't like that when he said it's just a big pay disparity. They were the number 1 team in they were the number 1 team in the nation at the beginning of the year. I'm gonna look. South Dakota State the one. Give me 1 second. Won the national title about in FCS 6 years in a row, something like that. They coach make $300,000, make $300,000 a year. And he got that with a raise on his extension. So when he's saying that if we go through that, see, even him right there is putting down the black HBCUs, trying to act like even on the lower level, the white people is doing so much better. So let's say hypothetically it was doing better. So why don't people like him, who's making millions, why haven't they created a fund, a big fund, where we got people with all these millions who can donate and put in? Because that's how people get their money. The school don't literally pay people that much money, right? They have donors that pay the money, right? So why is it these people, and I'm gonna say this, then I'm gonna go ahead and let you finish. My oldest son, right? His grades been right. He ended up going to a community college his first year, right? And I looked at their basketball stadium. I went in their weight room. Their weight room, and this is a community college, was probably as good as Mississippi Valley State University or the lower HBCU, right? But I'm gonna tell you something. As I was in there talking, they had a black defensive coordinator. The farmers in that community, that area had about 10,000 people. And every year, he said, those people donate $3 million to the school's athletic department, because that's what they had. They had a community college. So they wanted a bigger basketball stadium. So they got a stadium that can hold about 8,000 people. It was a nice stadium, I ain't gonna lie. And the stadium was like, what he said, it was like a $15 million project. The community donated $8 million. So donated, what was that, between 8 and 10, so they could get the stadium built. You understand? So you see, you understand what I'm saying? The school don't necessarily, it's donors that do that. So that's what we have to start doing. I hear the mic.
Yeah, and let me hurry up for my brother Bobby Lee, because I want him to hear this this Marxism stuff, because I saw his comment on the it's Marxism Eurocentric, or because they was trying to make it a black thing, and that's really why I came on here. But this is actually, you know what I'm saying, something that I wanted to talk about. Let me see if there's any more to this.
Is because it does highlight those massive financial disparities. And so I guess the question is not just, do you have to hire a charismatic coach who brings attention to your program to fix it? What's the other way to fix it?
The problem that we have here is, if you watched, especially during the pandemic when everybody had all their crypto money and you had all these different schools that were like, yo, we now have more billionaires donating to our schools, plural, billionaires, because that's what makes this work really, is those donations and big television deals. That's where the money comes from. We got 8 black billionaires in the United States, and you can name 6 of them, right? Like, you may not know it off the top of your head, but they're all people that you know. The initial capital that is necessary, that's the hard part. At a school like Jackson State, in a city that's been choked off by the state of Mississippi for as long as anybody can remember, and underfunded for as long as anybody can remember, the money they need and the things that need to be done, football is not the place where we're going to start with this in the first place. And at some point, we have to ask ourselves, does it matter whether or not the football team is great? Does it matter? Because everything that people were doing and giving money to serve these players that they now thought could go to the NFL could be done for all the players that they have anywhere, even if they're not as good at football as the ones that Deion
This is so weird for me, because we used to talk about this sitting around the table as a kid. I lived blocks from Southern University, and everybody Southern Grambling, my family. So this is so weird to be having this conversation
at this table
about HBCUs and the
with a bunch of white bitches. Oh my goodness, this is so weird. Yeah, so man, you got anything to say about that before we move on, my brother?
No, go ahead, because Bobby Wright said he about to be out. He said take your time because he off. He said guess he about to be out, but whatever it was you were trying to play, you better play it for him.
All right. No, well, yeah, yo, I want you to show. Oh yeah, go ahead.
But you heard Bomani Jones say something about donations, right? That's how the coaches get paid. because each state, like I'm gonna give you an example. I forget. Matter of fact, you can look at any of them: Alabama, Mississippi, Virginia, probably Virginia Tech. To look at them, look at these states. Georgia. Why do the coach make way more money than the governor? Just think about that. It's not even close. Why? Like Nick Saban make $11 million. Alabama, the university itself, is not paying $11 million, right? They're not paying $11 million. They have donors. So so the next coach that we get, because they can say what they want, it can still be done. So the next coach we get, which right now looking like it's going to be an assistant that came from other Deion that didn't want to go to Colorado. That's what it's looking like. Hopefully he can keep, and HBCUs can keep this momentum going, because it can be. We're going to have to get out. We're going to have to work hard, right? This is deep forecast, because I'm telling you, this is deep. Because my oldest son had a black high school coach, right? It ain't just Deion. This dude had all these schools, connections, not one HBCU. Then you come to find out the people with these black coaches don't want their kids to go to HBCU because I was difficult for his coach because I was a parent that was involved. They don't like to deal with parents that's involved. They want to be able to tell your child where to sign. Because if your child follow what the high school coach say, the high school coach is getting money from those schools to send them there. Even the black high school coaches is sending these black, trust me, it ain't always the player that want to go to Alabama. They come from a single home, a single mother, or they're dealing with somebody who don't understand what's going on. And some of them are black. Of course, all of them not. So I'm just touching on how the black ones are doing it. Because we know the white ones going to send them to white. But the black ones are taking money for people's children and sending them to white universities, bro. That's what they're doing. So we ain't getting all the recruits and we ain't getting all the donations. I hear the mic.
Hey, all right. So yeah, and Bobby was like, he's not going nowhere, but we still ain't gonna be on here all night. So, but I want to ask you this real quick, Bakari. And real quick, was for, at least for a time, was Deion Sanders a black superhero?
No, I ain't see him as no superhero. But okay, but you ain't talking about me personally. So
no. Yeah. Okay. So you're saying yes, right? Yeah, I ain't saying for you. I ain't saying. I'm just saying. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All together. You know what I'm saying?
I was trying to use a different word than superhero, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm just going by the title. Yeah. Okay. So
he was the Messiah. He was the Messiah.
He was the Messiah for HBCUs.
Yep.
Okay. All right. That's actually great right there. Actually, I like that one better. But still to the topic, right? So would you say that a black superhero needed a white savior?
That one did, yes. That black Messiah needed a white Messiah.
The black Messiah needs a white Messiah.
Yes.
Damn. That's not
black. That black Messiah. That black Messiah needed a white Messiah. But you know what? If people truly understand, Tamika Reed is the real Messiah. When you can turn down $400,000 a year in state for 70, in state for 75,000, in state for 75,000. You understand?
So Deion was the white Jesus and she was the black Yahshua.
No, Deion is the black savior. Colorado State was Deion was the black Messiah. Colorado State and any other white people that had $5 to put $5 more in Jackson State was his Messiah. And everybody else Messiah who only see money and don't see black people trying to build institutions.
All right. Well, these brothers is telling you wrong, Bakari. So, and this is Stephen A. Smith. This is 5 years ago, right? But this could be equated to today because we just seen Stephen A. Smith mad people was calling him coons the other day. So, response to Corey Holcomb calling him a coon. And let me skip to the parts I want to play.
Here. One of the things that I point to, and I brought up because I usually don't pay attention to the criticism. I keep it moving, you know. But I stopped, and for some reason, I decided to YouTube myself. Well, I never do that. Right. But I did that just then. And I saw this comedian, Corey Holcomb. Look, man, I watched this brother perform. He is spectacular as a comedian. Corey is hilarious, man. And I was like, somebody was asking me about him one day, and I couldn't remember his name. And I was like, you got to go see this guy. This brother's funny. Worth the price of admission. I YouTube, and they said Corey Holcomb going off on Stephen A. I'm like, what? You know, and I'm listening to him calling me all sorts of names because I brought up some stats about how you got these brothers getting in trouble for domestic violence. And I said, black. What I'm pointing to is what's something that you and I have talked about on several occasions in the past, Roland, when we're talking about imagery. Yes, it's true. And I highlighted that. Most black folks know how to act. We ain't out here doing that. Right. But the few who do taint the many. And in the world that we're living in, as unfair as it may be, you have to be cognizant of it and guard against it, whether it's weed or anything like that, because of that. And that is the reason you're getting called all kinds of these names.
But again, though, this is what happens when people do not have a broader collective view. And here's what we know and understand. And let's just get all the athletes.
Now, listen, I'm going to be reaching, and I think Bobby is going to fail me on this next one because, right, this Boule thing, because I don't know why some black people defending the Boule, and this, and Bobby probably has the answer to, like, what is up with this black Marxism thing and why they're trying to act. Like, it's no way possibly that you could say this thing named after a European isn't Eurocentric. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying, Bakari, right? You know, like with these HBCUs to connect the two topics, right? They produce a lot of people like this guy here, you know what I'm saying, who people may often say, you know, is a coon, you know what I'm saying?
Excuse me, both of them went to HBCUs. Stephen A. Smith went to Winston-Salem State.
You see what I'm saying? But this is the disconnect with the younger generation that you may have with the older generation who know what the HBCUs was founded on when we understood the world around us was our enemy. Now that we in the illusion of inclusion, we see this is what this is connecting. And there's a lot of, and this is what I'm saying. I think a lot of those people, I can't say all of them, but I don't know what's going on with this Boule thing, but the black Marxism thing and all of this ties in with each other, you know what I'm saying? And these people kind of get, and this is my conspiracy theory here about them being in certain levels and being on the TV, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying a lot of the people who be talking about Africana studies and these HBCUs and who graduate in these prominent positions, like they ignore blatant history and push certain propaganda on this all lives matter, you know, Marxism, you know what I'm saying, white savior kind of complex, like, but they try to put it in the face in blackface with the black superhero, but preaching the white savior complex, you know what I'm saying, the John Brown complex, as I like to put it. But it's just weird, you know what I'm saying, Bakari? I think that's a big disconnect between the younger generation of black people who becoming maybe a little bit more radicalized. Not to say the older generation wasn't radicalized, but with the HBCUs as far as that being the topic, you know what I'm saying?
You know what the problem is? They're still looking at anybody on TV as being a representation of those people. See, that becomes the problem. Because those two in Shannon Sharpe would become representation of HBCUs or anybody else on TV who went to an HBCU and they're a coon on TV. But then there's hundreds of thousands of million other people that went to HBCUs that people don't know. See, I can't make them the representation of everybody that has graduated from an HBCU. I'm just saying. So when we say that, you're putting everybody else in the box with them. If that makes sense.
Well, this is not what not necessarily that I'm saying, but it is parts of it that I agree with. I wouldn't agree with doing away with HBCUs, but I do think taking control of it is very, very key, and not being on some all lives matter stuff, because I think the leadership, like in Black spaces, it may not be the Black people, even in the NOI or whatever like that. It may not be the members of it, or if you want to say a country, or it might not be the majority of Nigerians who believe something, or it may not be the majority of Bahamians that would take a day off to recognize the queen, you know what I'm saying, their queen, you know what I'm saying, but the leadership, you know what I'm saying, that comes from these places, you know what I'm saying, that is put in certain places of power, have ties to that. And that's something that you really got to address, to take control of these institutions so that we can give it to our children in a better state. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would say that would be more so my generation's job, but this is why we got to address it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but the only thing I'm saying is, like, when we make them, like, I don't make them the face, like, of HBCU, right? Because they're on TV. And that's what I'm saying become the problem. Like, it becomes the problem because they're on television. People tend to see them and think they're going to be some type of leader, outspoken. But then when they're a coon and they're on TV, HBCU breeds coons. But what about the other ones that went there and not like them? You ain't going to see them on TV.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You probably, absolutely.
For the most part, won't see them on TV. Hey, Bobby Wright, I just put this right here. That's the name of an article. If you Google that article, you can read about how Stephen A. Smith ripped Clarence Big House gangs. The whole article ain't there. You can find the whole article. And everybody that went to Winston-Salem State turned on Stephen A. Smith. So you see what I'm saying? All those people that played under Clarence Big House gangs before Stephen A. that went to the pro, he even got a couple Hall of Famers. All them ripped Stephen A. for going at that black head coach like that. That's how he got his start. That was in college, but then he did it again while he was in Philadelphia. He ripped a Hall of Fame basketball coach, another one that probably could have gone somewhere else and coached when he was younger in his prime. Of course, he's no longer with us. While he was younger and in his prime, he probably could have went to a mid-major somewhere and got more money, but he decided to stay. Stephen A., that's how he got his start.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them got their start and continue to get their last. They're able to last. You know what I'm saying? By continuing to do that. You know what I'm saying? So let me so we can hurry up, because it's going to be late before we know it, Bakari. So let's hurry up.
In the positions that we have, can literally alter the course of the course of our family members' lives by virtue of what we do, the money we make, what we can invest.
Now, this is the point here, you know what I'm saying? Like, because Boule or any of that stuff, this is what it boils down to, you know what I'm saying? The sellout mentality
can literally alter the course of the course of our family members' lives by virtue of what we do, the money we make, what we can invest.
Personally.
My wife and I have raised 6 of my nieces. I could not raise 6 of my nieces if I wasn't making what I'm making.
And outside of being the daddy, I got 13 nieces and nephews.
There you go. And I don't have any kids. There you go. But we literally can alter the course of the next generation's generation. That's right. So when you're bringing these points
of
up,
their personal lives, not everybody, because obviously if you stay at the black thing 20 years, that will alter generations of black children going to black schools, which ultimately breed more money, which then you'll be able to pay them more money, you know what I'm saying, which is something you may not be able to do in 2 to 5 years, but you breed that stuff over time. But you know what I'm saying, we think about our children, which I cannot blame somebody for, but I will say, if you think about your job or any of that stuff, like, I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, you're horrible because you do that, but you know what I'm saying, you are choosing to remain a slave, you know what I'm saying? But that's not me condemning you for that. It's just, I respect your choice to do that, but that is the choice that is at hand. You know what I'm saying? And they're telling you right now why they do that.
When rich folk do something for their family, Deion Sanders left his oldest son at Jackson State because he can't transfer. He got 1 more year.
No,
he
I'm
got
talking about money wise though. But his son
but I'm just saying, even with I'm saying money wise, he left his son for more money. He left his son. He left his son because his son can't play if he go to Colorado because he done already transferred once. He left his son at the school where he couldn't even give his son 1 more year. Think about that. If you're doing, because they saying they need this money for their family, and I absolutely agree. But since it started with Deion, he left his son. I hear the mic.
Yeah, they just explaining why they personally be cooning. This is their cooning explanation.
What you're really saying is, bruh, there are people who literally, mothers and fathers and aunts and uncles, who pick your behind up at practice, who would stand on it. Well, I'm going to call us out. Not, well, let me go find a white guy to call a black guy. No, I'm going to call out the problem. If they happen to be black, they happen to be black. But I think
But if they're white, I'm not going to call out the problem. He just happened to leave that part out.
some people get so caught up in this whole idea of, man, you making us look bad. No, I'm not making us look bad by talking about the fool who's making us look bad.
That's right.
That's what's making us look bad.
And then we're getting
they're getting hyped now, like
because we
they're getting hyped. Like this is what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because they say that we cooning because we perpetuate the myth, even though we know that most black people aren't like that, even though we only talk about black people like that, and we perpetuate the myth that black people are like that, and they call us bad for that, and they getting hype about this whole conversation. Like, yo, this is, you know what I'm saying, how they interact. It's probably what goes on at these Boule meetings, Bakari.
Have some folks, not all, not most, but some folks in our community who are so focused on keeping things in-house that they are allowing the things that happen in-house.
Now, y'all talking about me. Y'all will get on me about that, but I mean, I don't even know anymore.
Deteriorate everything because you're excusing the behavior or you're glossing over it as opposed to pointing out what the hell is wrong with it, how it needs to change.
Hey, Herschel Marco wants the one, Bakari.
No, Catcher Freeman lost. I just put it in the chat. Catcher Freeman lost.
Oh. So you good now?
Hey, if Herschel Walker had won, now you would have known. I would have just said, forecast, I got to go. I'm finna pack up, man. I'll let you when I get to Mississippi. I'm dead serious, bro.
Hey, Bakari. So now you get to go to Chinatown, downtown Atlanta. So you good?
I don't want to go to Chinatown. All right,
man. All right, there you go.
Because if it doesn't change,
let me go ahead and skip this, man. Because this is now. Look, this pissed me off. All right, let me stop this real quick so I can show something. You know what I'm saying? Bakari, you wanted to say something about that real quick? Because I want to show something. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I'm good. Go ahead.
All right, let me pull up this joint. Is Black Marxism. I'm not gonna play this video, but this is why I showed this video. You know what I'm saying? Well, I can't even find it right now. This may be it right here. Here you go. And so let me share the screen. My brother Bobby was representing, and I don't know why black people go so hard to you know what I'm saying, like try to represent other people's stuff. You know what I'm saying? This was kind of was getting me a little bit, you know what I'm saying? This myth of Black Marxism, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, let me see. And not to put my brother on the spot, but he was going in. I think this is it. Here we go. My brother Bobby Wright. You know, see, you know, my brother is a genius right here. My brother be representing. He had to tell him, you know, Marx was a German, which is European, and he was speaking to late 19th century European people. Remember, he said Africans, i.e. black people, were lumpkin proletarians, not a part of the means of production, which is absolute facts, you know what I'm saying? Even as hatred of Jews spurred to because they probably had black blood, you know what I'm saying? Guess who'd be at the bottom, if at all, in their society, you know what I'm saying? it'll be you dumb Negroes. You know what I'm saying? Well, they said niggas, Bakari. They didn't even say N-word. They said niggas. You know what I'm saying? And black people is sitting here making excuses, calling themselves that. And then I was like, why would they do that? And then it leaked in, because not all black people who have been caping up for the Talented 10th and the black boule, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not sure how they lost track of like what happened, but that's one thing black people, you know what I'm saying, was on. And it also goes into this against capitalism stuff, you know what I'm saying? But guess what? One of the most successful things we did in this country here was Black Wall Street. And I'm not just saying Black Wall Street because there was a bunch of Black Wall Streets, but we know Black Wall Street. How was that built? Oh yeah, that's right. Capitalism. You know what I'm saying? But we understand we're not killers and like murderers and like go around raping people and stuff like this. So we understand respect for the planet and the earth. You know what I'm saying? And it's also socialist programs, but this Marxist stuff is like crazy because you really caping for this white boy, and it's really a John Brown complex in disguise, you know what I'm saying? And I'm starting to see how all of that stuff is lined up with the sister I showed Bakari, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna try to get her to come on the show, you know what I'm saying?
Can I say something right quick?
Yeah.
Most of these people that say Marxists, you know who they're gonna use? So they ain't gonna just use Kwame Ture and all that. So then they're gonna get into the Pan-African bag and say, ooh, see, Dr. John Henry Clark was a socialist too. But you know what? When you get a chance, you can find out what Dr. John Henry Clark was talking about, Marxism. And Dr. John Henry Clark would never call himself a Marxist. Never. He never called himself. Bobby Wright, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, because I know you listen to him too, Raw. But he didn't call himself a Marxist. He talked about people calling themselves Marxists, saying they don't know nothing about Marx. They don't know if he because you know they had some, I don't know, but I can't remember everything he said about the Marx Brothers or whatever, some show, but he cracked a joke about it. But he was like, most of these people wouldn't even know who Marx is, so he would never call himself a Marxist. But he did lean more, and he was not a complete socialist either. When people use that, and they get in their Pan-African bag to try to convince you, he was not a complete socialist either. He was more of it. If you ever hear him talk, he was more of a Garveyite. With he believed in Garveyism. He believed in black people doing for themselves, but with some socialist ideas. You understand what I'm saying? If that makes sense, not just to make with like he wanted to have like some social programs. Yeah, they love to point out Thomas and Carr. They don't say much about some more master because I don't even know what it is. I ain't never heard about it. I'm gonna look them up. All right, Forecast is it.
Yeah, but I think that not only is that just a dumb thing, that I don't understand how all this time black people want more government intervention in the way that you do things. And the first thing you will have to do for it to have quote unquote Marxism is to overthrow the government, because to have this trickle down government that you're talking about, you know what I'm saying, you're going to have to overthrow the government, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry, because I hype myself up listening to this stuff all day, but you know what I'm saying? For that to work and the government to issue out what needs to be done, you know what I'm saying? Say the government gives you a house and a car and they'd be like, oh, well, you're working at the steel factory for the next 30 years, you know what I'm saying? And they're like, yo, you get what you put out with this stuff. But even then, they try to justify it by saying, well, it goes back to African principles before Marxism. Well, if that's the case, that's being disrespectful to the African principles that you go back to before, you know what I'm saying? To have to call it this racist white boy, you know what I'm saying, and say this is what you're following. And this is why I don't understand. Then I heard the sister, you know what I'm saying, speak against critical race theory, you know what I'm saying? Not that I'm like, oh, it gotta be critical race, but I mean, it's literally like, yo, a fact that it was legal, like how the government built or how the government's role in projects is like literally what critical race theory is, how the projects was built. I know people don't understand like what it's about, like they think it's just about racism, but it's the government's role and the policies which it was built off of, you know what I'm saying? But it's all of these stuff where they try to take up for like, and then it goes to the W.E. Du Bois whole thing. And I mean, I don't even understand. Even Marcus Garvey, who they appreciate, would get on W.E. Du Bois and their colorism that they had going on and their elitism, because they try to say it's educated, but really it's Europeanized. You know what I'm saying? They felt like a lot of other black people was holding them down, you know what I'm saying, from being assimilated into the society. You know what I'm saying? And then the brown paper bag test and that affiliation that it has and the whole eugenics thing, because they felt like they was elite. So I don't understand why they know so much history and actually in charge of these African studies departments in black institutions, and they still are pushing this thing because they know, like, why would you call yourself a black Marxist? And maybe Bobby Wright would know better than me, but I'm just saying, like, I don't understand it. I'm trying to figure that out. You know what I'm saying? So let me play this, man. My bad, y'all.
You mentioned Cedric Robinson, and you wrote the foreword to a new edition of his book.
Oh, speaking of this light-skin supremacy stuff here, I'm not trying to say anything about W.E. Du Bois, by the way. No disrespect to W.E. Du Bois at all. You know what I'm saying? Because he understood about one thing that he understood about that we don't have generally is the illusion of inclusion. So I'm not going to disrespect them, but I'm just saying this. It's a light-skin supremacy thing that has its ranks in all of this as well. This is a whole area that, like, I probably shouldn't even look into because, you know what I'm saying, my curiosity, you know what I'm saying, for me, you know.
Black Marxism. And you basically say that this moment of American fascism, we could potentially learn something from Black Marxism and critiques of sort of traditional Marxism.
By the way, if you have to call it Black Marxism, that means you yourself know that Marxism without the word black in it is a European thing. So why wouldn't you even say that? Is it? I mean, come on. You don't be disrespectful to your African ancestors who you say you get it from. Say the African ancestors. Like, even with Garveyism, you can't say nothing because it's Garvey, a black man. If I say I'm Ida B. Wells-ism, you know what I'm saying? At least it's a black woman, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to be like, well, she got it from a black person then. But you have to literally justify and go on a justification campaign. And these are black intellectuals, because we talk about de Kooning on our low levels. We talked about Herschel Walker and the CTE, but we talk about Kooning on a quote unquote intellectual level. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to have this conversation with them about it, but they gonna call me too radical. That's why I get like blacklisted and only my brother like Bobby on here, because like a lot of people probably can't really be associated if they understood what I really be saying. You know what I'm saying? Because it sounds good at first, but then when I hear how, like, it's not, I'm not radical though. That's the crazy part. I'm not radical. I'm just saying, if you want to be a slave, this is, if you don't want to be a slave, this is what you got to do. Otherwise, you're going to probably be a slave. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. If you want to be a slave, well, it affects me. So, you know, I'm going to drop it there, but I'm sorry, man. Let me play this and jump in, Bakari, if you want to. I'm going on rants here because it pissed me off, man. I pissed myself off.
As a way to combat fascism. At least I think that's what you were saying. And maybe you want to explain like, yeah, what are the openings that you see there, and what is Black Marxism, I guess, very briefly, and then what are the openings, like how can it better equip us to confront this moment?
Right. Ask the biggest question and say very briefly.
I know.
It's okay. You know,
if it's black, why they still using the white man name?
You say what?
If it's black, why they still using the white man name?
That's a good question. Well, they said Black Marxism, so it's okay. Okay. You know how we be like Black Thomas Jeffersonism in America? Oh wait, no.
Mm-hmm. So you know something I say, right? And I say it all the time. You know, we be on Koku, if some guy would want to throw away everything black people ever done. Black people, in their mind, it's okay to throw away anything black people have done, to cling on anything white people said, and they gonna make that better. How many? What they say? Throw away Garvey. Throw away anything black people have ever done for black people. We gonna find somebody white and use what they said, and that's gonna be better for us. That's better than anything that a black person create. I get them.
Yeah. But I'm disappointed because this is the black intellectual. This is my theory about, because I haven't taken the Black Africanist course in the HBCU or otherwise, but like now I don't think they go by like, and I think it'll be more effective because, and I'm biased because this is how I did it. I went year by year to see the things that happen, and then you see the people who stood out. And I think they study philosophies in certain people and their philosophies, and actually learn history through certain philosophies, but that clouds your judgment. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them get caught up in this Angela Davis mindset. Let's be real. And this, you know, and this is with the religious thing and with the God thing. Like, I am sorry, right? I did not start this, right? But there is no way to convince water not to be wet, and there's no way to talk to a psychopath. You know what I'm saying? And I get that we want to be on this all love stuff, but first of all, right, before you talk to me about the whole planet loving each other, right? Because you'll say how insane it is for Black people to unite and be all on one accord. So how in the hell are you gonna push this entire world we love each other thing? That's what the Bible like, and I'm not gonna limit to the Christians. I'm gonna talk about Bible because that encompasses the Quran too, because they need the Bible. The Muslims need the Bible, by the way. You know what I'm saying? It goes to Bible people, all religious people, all 5%ers, all of this. You think that you have to love your enemy, but your enemy is about winning. And at the end of the day, it's about being able to have self-sufficiency to feed yourself, because obviously they're gonna poison you. Man, I'm trying to keep through it. I'm only like 47 seconds in. Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know if Bobby agree with me, but like, yeah, like, yo, it'd be pissing me off. I want that sister to come on because she really, really smart. She really, really smart, and she know history. But I mean, so what is it about that? And it's my theory, right, that it's 3 different types of people, that, not to say that we directly go to sign up to their camps, but I'm saying we fall into 3 different kinds of people. You know what I'm saying? We got the, you know what I'm saying, Angela Davis, the, you know what I'm saying, W.E. Du Bois crowd, you know what I'm saying, that is about, you know what I'm saying, using other people and maybe we can assimilate into their society, you know what I'm saying, but not in a necessarily a coon way, but because this group of people know about systemic racism. They're not the woke people, but they still try to fit in that narrative. And then you got the people like us who is like the Ida B. Wells, Marcus Garvey, you know what I'm saying, separation. See, they're like the integrationists, you know what I'm saying? And then you have like the coon population, you know what I'm saying, which is over there, you know what I'm saying? And I think I don't know, man. I'm like wilding out, so, you know, my bad, y'all.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we learned from Cedric Robinson, both from Black Marxism and another book called Forgeries of Memory and Meaning, is that fascism predates fascism. Simply put, that is to say that.
See, this is what I'm talking about. When we try to call people smart, like, yo, the point of communication is so people can feel you and understand what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? So that I know what you're telling me. It's like they try to be too smart for their own good. Fascism was fascism before fascism. Like, yo, we understand what murder and rape and colonialism is. We're not gonna be like, oh, before, but this is before we called it, before we termed it this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're trying to be like, yo, well, before this is. I'm sorry I'm going on it because I already know what he's about to say. He's trying to reach, you know what I'm saying? And they try to do this thing where they try to make it seem like they're saying something deep. And people think that, like, yo, the smartest thing that anybody can do is break something down so that you can understand it. And I don't care how simple they say it. You know what I'm saying? If they can break something down to you so that you can understand what they are expressing, that is a sign of intelligence. Saying some mumbo jumbo stuff is not a sign of intelligence. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry.
Part of the intellectuals he writes about, the movements, saw fascism, saw Reconstruction as anti-fascist. If we think of slavery as a form of fascism, they saw, you know, the indigenous people fighting in Sand Creek or Skeleton Cave Wounded Knee as anti-fascism. Workers fighting the violence in West Virginia's coal mines as anti-fascism.
See, like, this is what I'm saying. This is probably why they won't debate me, because, like, yo, we just got to keep it real here. They're saying that them fighting against being enslaved themselves, oh, well, they were fighting against fascism. And this is the intellectual, dishonest kind of debate, bro. They just didn't want to be slaves, bro. Like, come on. What are you talking about? Oh, they was fighting anti-fascist. Bro, if somebody break in my house and I do something and I kill them or something, you'd be like, oh, well, I was fighting crime. No, I stopped the dude from breaking in my house because I didn't want him to break in my house. This is like intellectual dishonesty to justify caping for a white boy at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry it's pissing me off, yo, because I don't know why it's pissing me. I don't know why it makes me feel some type of way when they say this stuff. But like, this is like, and I'm sorry, Bakari, this is the stuff that I'm saying that HBCUs breed generally. You know what I'm saying? Like, because this dude is nobody, you know what I'm saying, that we know, but this is, and sisters like her, you know what I'm saying? Because this is a sister and she's a Black person. But yo, we got to be real for a damn second. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, get to the real world and stop trying to use all this intellectual stuff. Like, yo, it's not rocket science, yo. Stop making it rocket science, yo. I think that's a problem. Yo, you still there, Bakari?
But yeah, but that have nothing to do. Him talking about Marxism, that have nothing to do with an HBCU. I be wanting them to come around me because I want to debate them, because I tell them I want to debate them how Garveyism is better for Black people than socialism or Marxism or any other kind of ism that they can think of. It don't make a difference which ism they think of. I will debate any of them and show why Garveyism can run in a nation state, what Garveyism did and created for Black people. So they don't want to debate because they only want to talk, because they have to talk about everybody. And for the most part, this is me. I say socialists are cowards, right? I'm talking, okay, the Black Marxists, they're cowards because they can't do nothing by themselves. They are running to other people. They are running to other people and want those other people to do something for them. They can't, they refuse to try and stand on their own. But I can't let you give him and say his mindset, his HBCU mindset.
No, I'm saying, Bakari, that is generally like, I'm sorry, Bakari, this is true though. Like,
but what I'm saying is, see, but what
is love for everybody else studies right now. I'm not trying to say HBCUs is the reason for that. I'm just saying a lot of leaders in those positions, you know, are not militant. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to indict them or anything. I'm just saying the coon rate is just a little bit too high for it to be Black institutions. I'm just trying to say, like, not that we should do anything. I'm just saying, like, yo, we need to pay attention and like really take control of these situations. And I'm also mixing it in with you know, like, because I was kind of hype earlier because I want to talk to that sister, you know what I'm saying? Like, no hate to that sister, but maybe I'm tripping. Bobby, let me know if I'm tripping, you know what I'm saying, with this whole Black Marxism thing, you know what I'm saying? Because I think Black people be wilding with this. It's a part of the John Brown complex, Bakari. I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, you got to give me a little bit of pass here, you know.
But I'm not debating with you because I understand what you're saying. But hey, Bobby, you're right. Marcus Garvey did talk about that. They're gonna rule as white people, but Black people in Black people mind, they can't fathom using because I don't want to call nobody name on your panel, but because you know I will, but I don't want. They can't fathom using anything Black. They want to get rid of anything that Black people created. They want to get rid of anything Black people created. They have a problem. Get rid of Marcus Garvey, gas him up. Get rid of John Henry Clark. Oh, we need to study Rome and Greek. But that's the problem. Like, I'm willing to bet you that guy didn't go to an HBCU. but But that's the problem.
I bet you he did, Bakari. I bet you I put money he would did. How much you want to bet?
I can bet whatever. I'm willing to bet you he didn't go. I'm willing to bet you he didn't go to an HBCU.
I'm gonna try to find this dude. I don't know who he is, so I bet you he did though. He been to some HBCU. It might be a private one. I don't know. That's what you're gonna say. It's private, but
no, I'm willing to bet you he ain't go to. I'm willing to bet you he ain't go to an HBCU. But that's the problem. Black people is quick to get rid of. We are quick to say, let's get rid of black stuff to follow other people's stuff. Because anything somebody else did is automatically better. I heard this, let's be like Chinese. Let's be like Mexicans. Let's be like Jews. And the question I always ask is, what's wrong with being black? Why do we have to be like somebody else? If they did something that was good, okay, I can take it. I can mix it, but be like them? You don't hear them saying, let's be like black people. But black people were the first ones in this country who said, let's boycott. Who said, let's make a stand. Who said, let's get away. Black people were the first, but people can copy what black people did and remain themselves. Black people copy other, completely want to copy other. Let's just do this, because people can copy what you do and still have their own ideas. Black people want to get rid of their own ideas completely for someone else's ideas. And that's why it's hard for black people to self-govern. You can't self-govern when you're trying to be like somebody else. You just gonna do what they do or do what they did. That's what's gonna happen.
yeah, and shouts out to Koku and yeah, I'm sorry, Bakari. I'm sorry, Bakari, but Koku and Bobby will probably tell you this probably you probably went to Howard or something, you know what I'm saying, or some HBCU somewhere, Bakari. And all of them probably did. This white dude probably went to an HBCU, Bakari. I'm sorry, man. All right.
He's too old. He ain't from the generation where white folk were going to HBCU.
All right, you got me on that one. But she damn sure probably went to an HBCU. She probably was valedictorian or something. But you know, he was probably the other valedictorian. All right.
And black intellectuals in particular, you know, fighting the prison industrial complex, you know, is also a kind of anti-fascism. So it's expanding definition of it, which is why so many black radicals in the
that's the problem. They try to expand other people's definitions of other people's stuff to fit them. And listen, we can make it easy to bang on black people who be like, I'm American, because obviously it was not expanded to fit us. But this applies to the black people who call themselves the intellectuals of our community. And this is to go back to the talented tip. Like, they try to justify, like, oh, well, it just means educated. No. It just means Eurocentric. And they thought the rest of us was prohibiting them for assimilating into their society. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real. And as soon as W.E. Du Bois realized, you know what I'm saying, like, well, you know, they really don't want black independence. And he started getting quote unquote radical, which they always try to be like, you wanting independence is radical. Guess who kicked him out? The Boule. Like, why are you going to sit here and try to make an argument for that? You know what I'm saying? And I think that it has something, it's a whole ideology. And I think I haven't discovered it. It's new to me. Y'all probably know this ideology, but I think they all think the same, like they will have the same talking points on a lot of situations. Like that video that Bobby Wright, you commented on, I think they all, you know, have that, like this one, these brothers, you know what I'm saying? Not that they aren't smart, but Bakari, a lot of them do have HBCU, you know what I'm saying, whatever. And I think they learn by philosophy instead of learning history for what it is. And then I would go by philosophy in the second or third course, but I'm just saying, like, I think they learn history through black philosophy, and then they look at the lens through, and you might even get mad at me for this one, Bakari. I don't think that we should be looking at the lens and as through like even with Marcus Garvey as Marcus Garvey alone. I think we should take Marcus Garvey principles and add it with other good principles and discard all the bad principles from all of our ancestors who have done things. You know what I'm saying? But like even just as far as putting it on one person, I don't even agree with that either. But I don't know. But that's a whole nother argument. But you know.
Hey, by the way, forecast, Dr. Amos Wilson went to a HBCU. Dr. Amos Wilson went to a HBCU.
I mean, I don't know what that. Well, what you mean by that? I don't know what you mean.
You don't know who Dr. Amos Wilson is?
No, I know who he is. I'm just saying, like,
I'm just letting
you
you know that he did graduate from an HBCU. If you know who Dr. Amos Wilson is, you know. That's great. Dr. Amos Wilson went to. See, that's what I'm saying. Dr. Amos Wilson won't be in the boat. Dr. Amos Wilson won't be in the boat with them people. It ain't HBCUs that breeding coons. Them people just coon. And that's what I'm saying when we say that. It's like, oh yeah, you go to HBCU, you just a coon. That ain't true.
No, I don't mean that's like no. None of everybody is anything. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like saying like if. Like Bakari, because you wouldn't say because somebody believes they are American or whatever that they are, you would call them a coon, but you'd be like they're unwillingly coons. I'm not calling him an unwilling coon, but I don't think all black people that say they come from America are coon or ADOS are coons. You know what I'm saying? Or claim ADOS.
You're right. I don't think all black. You're right, and I don't think all black people that coon willingly don't even. I don't even think they know they're cooning. I really don't. I really think they really think. I don't think they all know they're coon. Yeah, but I got to stop using it. We have to stop calling people coon.
Mobutu. You're right.
Because a coon is one of the smartest animals out there. Herschel Walker done let you know that. You got to be okay when somebody call you a coon.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah.
Because they want to.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, if he all right with being a monkey, that's cool. But you know, but I'm saying like Amos Wilson, you know what I'm saying? Like I get what you're trying to say, Bakari, but you can't act like there isn't corruption and leadership in the black whatever. And I'm only critiquing because I can't even speak on it as an expert. Like Koku and Bobby can speak on it more expertly than me. But I think they teach philosophy more so than they teach. Like you learn history through philosophy instead of learning the history. And then like you go through, okay, what happened in 1910? What happened in 1911? I think they'd be like, yo, let's study W.E. Du Bois. And through that, we learn what happened in 1910. But I think that's a clear difference because I think like you learn history from an unbiased lens first. You know what I'm saying? Like I went through it like without any knowledge of like I knew history, but I didn't know any kind of, I still don't. I honestly, that's why y'all be like, yo, look up this, look up that. I don't know anybody's particular ideology. You know what I'm saying? I know what Garveyism is. I'm just saying like I was never be like, yo, I'm a Garveyite, I'm a this, I'm a that. But I recognize who stood out through history. And I think that I looked at it through a lens that isn't like through the lens. Like I think like the sister who I was talking about, look at it through a lens of W.E. Du Bois and try to make excuses. Because I think we make excuses for things we are biased about. And like, even when we are smart with our religion, with the people that we worship or idolize, we will make excuses or defend something that probably shouldn't defend it, or be harder to change a mindset than we would normally otherwise be. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep. But you know what? They're gonna always put them coons on their TV. So we got to make sure we prop up the one. I'm sorry, not a coon, because they're one of the smartest animals out there. They're gonna always put them other people on their TV screen and act like they speak for us. But they don't. They don't speak for us. But no more cooning. No more calling someone a coon. They are the smartest animal out there. I got to remember that. Remember that, forecast. You got to think of another animal. Call them a deer or something.
Yeah. All right. Hey, yo, Bakari, let's speed through this, John. It's too late now. Let's speed through the rest of it.
1920s had said Mussolini is the greatest things ever.
I'm gonna skip this one. We'll come back and talk about this one day. Yo, by the way, this is for y'all cookout people. I'm gonna let you off the hook with this stuff, Bakari, but I'm gonna just play this real quick to watch this brother with the and maybe he went to a HBCU too, Bakari. I don't know, but watch this.
Hey friends, so it's Abraham. A couple days ago, I did a video about White Lives Matter, and in that video, I said, my kids are white. And you know what's interesting about that? I meant that 100%, right? And here's why. My kids are 100% white and they're 100% black. They're not half of each, right? So therefore, we believe that all lives matter. You see what I'm saying? Not trying to be rude or offensive to anyone, but being able to happily say white lives matter with there being no issues and no misunderstandings is really where we should be in this life.
Light skin supremacy in effect.
Still working on those t-shirts. I hope that I will have some great news and updates for you shortly.
So he called this little boy 100% black and 100% white. Now, I'm only skipping through this and it doesn't make sense now because I went too fast, but you know, it matches up with this boule and this light skin supremacy stuff. You know what I'm saying? So Bakari, watch this, right? This is black men, the Passport Brothers, you know what I'm saying? This is another Filipino girl, because I'm gonna give you a pass from this, Bakari. And guess who put it up there? Your homegirl, Cynthia G. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I make this stuff that the other stuff is easy to debate and destroy in the topics, but then when we get to the main point and the main topic, our brothers let us down a lot, you know what I'm saying? Because since we discovered the cave, them white bitches in the caves, we've been talking about, well, we all one race, we can have sex with them and they love us, you know. So I'm gonna let this Filipino girl who's at your cookout, Bakari, speak. And Bakari, I know you disagree with this brother. I'm not putting this on you, but the girl is at your cookout though.
What's going on, everybody? Listen, I just posted a video this morning entitled "Black Men Are Looking for Filipino Wives." Yes, black men are getting fed up with the situation in this country and dealing with a lot of black women. The situation is just not right. And so they're going to the Philippines. They're getting their passports. They're jumping on planes and they're going to the Philippines. Like Brian McKnight, Dave Chappelle, the late Thurgood Marshall.
Brian McKnight, David Chappelle, the Thurgood Marshall. And I don't even get on coons and stuff, but damn it, Thurgood Marshall was a coon with this boule NAACP nonsense that said, oh, well, the only way we could be equal is if we get to go to school with the white people because black stuff is not good enough to be equal with them. While most black people were saying, like, you know what, we want equal funding. Like, yo, we getting our taxes taken and white people get buses. We don't want my 6-year-old child walking 5 miles to school. You either give them a bus or let them go to the school right beside us. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, of course he's going to big up Thurgood Marshall. And I'm gonna tie all this in because it's the white, the black superheroes. Thurgood Marshall was a superhero, but he had a white savior.
Randy Barber. It's just so many people. There's so many guys that go into the Philippines to look for wives because they figure it's a better quality woman. I am dead serious. So check me out on YouTube.
Or Filipino savior in this case.
YouTube, because I posted a brand new video on that topic and I want you to check it out. All right? So go to YouTube. Black men are looking for Filipino wives.
Many Filipinas are attracted to black men. Why can't you just accept that the black man that you don't like is wanted in the Philippines?
That is disgusting. They're the most unattractive females in the whole species of human. I don't know what it is. The Denisovan in them makes them super unattractive, even less than white bitches. It's the Denisovan mixed with the Neanderthal. You know what I'm saying? That's a bad mix, I think. That's my personal opinion. I'm just saying. I like Homo sapien sapien personally. I prefer Homo sapien sapien. I don't know about y'all, you know what I'm saying? But the Denisovan thought blows me. But let's let the Denisovan talk for herself.
And the fact that these guys don't want to be with you, that means they are not being treated like a king. And why settle for someone who don't want to treat you like a king when you can go to the Philippines and be treated like one? And that is why people, not just my black king, everyone I'm talking about, men who are unwanted in your country have to go to the Philippines. And then they say, oh, we don't care. You can have our leftovers. We don't care. But the truth is, we Filipinas love leftover. Leftovers are...
This bitch is disrespectful. I love leftover black men. What? She's trying to troll black dudes.
Are the best. You know why? They can at least compare us. Whoa, you guys are way better than my ex. Or my ex-wife.
She's trolling black people.
So guys is DM'd me and told me to stop talking about black men. They were like, leave our black men alone. They're ours. No one is interested marrying about Filipina. Well, the good news is I'm not here to listen to them, because the good news is a lot of Filipina are interested of marrying black men. That's right. Black men are super interested marrying Filipina women, especially when you are a big Filipina. That's right. So if you're a big girl in the Philippines and think that Filipina and Chocolate Man here on the comments. But then again, my friend Chocolate Man, you are doing it wrong, my dear. What's the matter with you? If you want a Filipina, do it right. And you'll
take notes, Bakari. Take notes. You know what I'm saying? While you at the cookout, scoping that Filipino girl, take notes. She gonna tell you how to bag her.
Be like, soap girl told me. Of course I will tell you. Well, the thing is, Chocolate Man, the way you approach all this Filipina, it's not right. You're too aggressive, all of you. What's the matter with you? I mean, not all of you, but most of you are very aggressive. Even me, I said, I'm not available. What do? You flooded my Instagram with messages. Hi, hello, send me your beautiful, sexy body.
Adino Solvin, that's beautiful. That's funny.
What the hell is wrong with you? I'm taken. Do you want to find a good Filipina or what? Good. Don't steal me away from my Fardit. Anyhow, my friend Chocolate Man, you need to make an effort to get us Filipina. You know why? Because if you want to find a good Filipina, target the Filipiniana Filipina. And you have to know, we Filipina, we're very hard to get. Okay? And you messaging all this Filipina, oh, come on, honey, marry me right away. I love you already. Wrong. Don't do that, my friend. You're scaring her away. Why don't you just marry a black man? Don't fetishize our babies. A lot of chocolate men, they just look at me like meat. And many chocolate men ask me, I love you very much. Can I give you...
All right. This is enough of this bitch trolling here. Bakari, you got anything to say about your invitee to the cookout?
I have no idea what that have to do with me, but I ain't got nothing to say about that. You can't, black men ain't gonna run their ass over there. Let them stay over there. Just being honest, man. They have issues. They have those black men got mama and grandmama and sister issues. Even the other dude started talking about the men. He named all the men that got all them other women, but his dad had a black woman. But he looked outside to say something is better. His mama or daddy ain't worth a damn. So, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. Bobby said, speaking of Thurgood Marshall, I wonder if Tanzan knows he co-wrote the King Constitution. I didn't know that. That's crazy. I didn't know that. Yeah, ain't nobody doing that. Yeah, I agree with you. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody want that Dino. So she's actually trolling black men, but yo, it's the black men in that atmosphere, that passport, bro. Save yourself, black men, because they got kicked out of the men. I paid attention to all of this stuff. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I pay attention to everything, and I see a lot of people over there. You know what I'm saying? But you know, a lot of the black dudes got kicked out of this stuff. But she's trolling black men. You know what I'm saying? And it gives.
But you know why she control, bro? I'm gonna tell you, I'm just gonna be honest. You know why she control?
Yeah.
Because I was if I would have just recorded them conversations, but I can call a homeboy. Man, they go They go to those countries and look for prostitutes and come back. And I've literally, they will sit there and talk about how a black woman ain't nothing after going to Thailand and to the Philippines, but mainly they go to Thailand. They don't go to the Philippines as much, but they go there and go get a prostitute and make that prostitute their wife and come back and try to shit on black women over a prostitute. That's why she's trolling, because so many people is, I ain't gonna lie, man, a lot of black men is doing it. And that is the truth. It's probably not in no huge, but it is quite a few of black men go over there to buy prostitutes.
It's a
and
segment.
come back and compare those prostitutes to black women. And then get mad at me when I say, man, that's a prostitute. How you gonna compare a hoe? That's my woman. I'm like, oh, well, my kid, my woman black. You think it's okay for you to just talk about black women? But now you mad because I said you went and bought a hoe? That's what she is, a hoe.
Yeah. Yo, and it's a segment of our society that's doing that, you know what I'm saying? And not just Filipino, but it's different countries, you know what I'm saying? But like, and you're right, she has the ability to troll us because there's so many, and this is why I even brought it up. But I'm not gonna be like the chick who put it up and say this is the majority of black men. But I want you to see the mindset, you know what I'm saying, that they can have, because it's not just Europeans, it's not just any particular group, you know what I'm saying? There's all of these groups, including the ones that we think are our friends and these Filipinos. Like I said, yo, I'm probably gonna find something on y'all Princess Diana Bukhari. I know you love her and all, but I'm gonna take her away too from y'all. So, and y'all can hate me, but it's okay. I'm cool with being kicked out. Yo, I want to show you the last thing, yo. You heard about people being mad at Jennifer Lewis. You know who she is? Jennifer Lewis, her.
No, I don't know no Jennifer Lewis.
No, the actress lady. She was on The Fresh Prince. She be on a lot of shows and movies.
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know who she is. I ain't know her name.
All right, so real quick, so we
played a drunk woman a lot. She played a woman that drank a lot.
Yeah, but she's super pro-black though.
Yeah, I know, but she played a woman that drank a lot in a lot of her movies though. They put her in that role a lot.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But you know, a lot of black people was mad at her because she was going in on Kanye West. So listen to what she said about Kanye West.
I was sick of him before he did all this mess. I don't care what he's dealing with. Shut your mouth. You go sit down somewhere. All them kids that look up to his ass. Hey, Kanye, my name is Jennifer Lewis. I'm famous too. Not as famous as you. That does not excuse you from doing what you should be doing. Go get help, baby. Your children are looking at you. You hush now. I know what pain you're going through. I went through it. Do it for your children. Do it for the next generation. They gave you everything. They listen to your music just because you consider yourself a genius, and a lot of people do. Van Gogh was a genius. He cut his fucking ear off. You hush now. Go get some help. Go get some help, baby. Find me. Call me. Let me help you.
I only listen to people who are younger than me. These are the only people with ideas. You cannot give me any advice. You can help me. You can support Donda. You can cut a check. You can help me build some infrastructure. But I have the ideas. No one older than me has a better idea than me, because I'm me. I'm the most relevant voice on the planet Earth So don't try to tell me anything. Help me. Help me. Help other people. Shit.
You ain't said nothing but a word, Negro.
That baby's so sick.
All right, now now I don't know if this is real or fake with Jennifer Lewis, you know what I'm saying? And the stuff with Kanye, he wasn't talking to her, you know what I'm saying? I gotta clear that up, okay, for anyone thinking that, you know. But, you know, Jennifer Lewis got a lot of backlash for saying that because a lot of black people are sticking up for Kanye West and the things that he said. Now, I personally was like, you know, the George Floyd thing, slavery was a choice thing. And a lot of the talking points that he says doesn't necessarily go away from the talking points of the MAGA white boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why Jason Whitlock and Candace Owens have been in his support all the way, because it does line up with those MAGA white boys. You know what I'm saying? That's why he got endorsed by that other white boy. And like that, I'm going to show you in a second. But can you believe, do you think Jennifer Lewis should have got backlash for that just now, Bukhari?
Nope. But for the most part, people go to talking about Kanye West, Kanye Kardashian. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful by calling him West. But Kanye Kardashian, I normally just turn it anyway. I'm just being honest with you. I really don't listen to too many people talking about that dude. It's asinine for black people. That shows black people mentality to me, who want to follow and listen to Kanye Kardashian. We have a problem. We have a problem for listening to Kanye Kardashian. No, she didn't have, and no, she don't deserve no backlash for that. But hey, who am I? I ain't trying to tell none of these YouTube folks no more what they should be doing. I'm not. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I ever said anything that coincide with what Kanye Kardashian said, I'm gonna right away change my mind to make sure me and him don't agree on nothing.
Nah,
because I don't agree.
I wouldn't do that.
I
still say what I say about shysters.
I know, and that's okay. But I have nothing to say, and you had the right to say that. People, I wonder how many people he took to him while he complained about him. I wonder how many people he took to sign. I just don't get into nothing that dude say. I'm just being honest with you. Nothing, and it's been like that for a very long time. He's searching for attention. She probably shouldn't have said nothing, because now he's getting what he wants, attention. Because that's what he need. But for as me and him, nah. She could have really said a whole lot more about him, and I probably would have agreed with her. I don't worry about it. There's something wrong with it.
Hey, Bukhari, so yo, before you close out, I want you to close out after this, right? Because now Alex Jones always got the smoke, right? But even they took down all the videos of this interview on YouTube, and you can only get it through like this white boy, like this dude, reacting to it. But I want you to see some of the stuff he was saying, Bukhari, you know what I'm saying? And then we're going to close out, and that's it.
Some of the stuff who was saying?
How were you able to
Kanye West. This is the video Kanye West was talking.
stay here with Tim Pool?
Because Tim Pool got the call from those boys 10 minutes before I got there and said, flag this and flag that.
I said black superhero, you know what I'm saying? And this is why I want to end it with the black superhero.
Also, Tim Pool is an NPC, you know, and you're a real...
Excuse this dirty, disgusting Neanderthal talking about I gotta pee. Like, come on, like.
A real human being. So no one's ever heard of Tim Pool. You know, you're the legend that is Alex Jones, and you were fighting on the front line, and now we're here with you. You got some other superheroes part of the Avenger movie, Fighting for Christ.
Black superhero, Bukhari.
And free speech.
And I called it. I said, what is this?
With the white savior.
Superhero thing with the mask? He said, yeah, but don't say it. They'll figure it out. But I was saying, yeah, I'm Lex Luthor. What is the new yay superhero we're talking about?
It's someone in service to Jesus Christ, not into his own ego.
This is what Deion Sanders said. This ties back into everything. This is what Deion Sanders said. Jesus was on the main line, and it told him that he got to go help them white boys in Colorado. So the black superhero that needs the white savior. Man, what a situation we in, y'all.
And that I have my rights. You know, I had the right to wear a mask for the entire. I had the right to wear a super, super, super fresh jacket. You know, I had the right to tell God, please don't take away the supermodels. I just want to marry one. You know, I can
say this, because I never.
Now Alex Jones talks all the smoke, but that man, whatever the hell he is, I don't know what the hell he is, but that dude was doing some backtracking. That white boy was doing some backtracking. He was scared to death of them shysters. You know what I'm saying? Scared to death.
Never seen you in concert. My daughter has. Big fan. I'm a fan of a lot of your music, but I've never seen you in person. You don't look little on screen, but you don't look like a really big guy. But in person, I'm a stocky guy. I'm kind of small compared to you. You're built like.
They dropped that nigga.
And he says, well, whoever that group is.
Chappelle, I guess we'll never know.
Last thing on Dave Chappelle. I watched it Saturday Night Live where he grovels, but at the end he says, well, whoever that group is, we're not allowed to talk about it. Good night. So he admitted, though, there's powerful groups controlling our speech, at least the end.
Everybody has to do it in their own way, but he said they dropped that nigga. And as my friend, I've never dropped a rap bar ever saying anything on a Jewish platform dissing my friend Dave Chappelle. And I have an issue with it. And you could tell Big Country I got an issue. That's the security. You could tell Corey Smith, he don't deserve to wear gold teeth.
What? Well, Dave Early was like,
Nick, to you. What do you have to say about Corey Smith's gold teeth?
Real quick, 10 years ago, he was like, there's a mafia. They came to me and said what I got to do. He ran off to Africa. Now he's kind of come back. Did he sell out?
He didn't sell out. He sold out a little bit because he denounced the king.
Man.
I'm here.
But seriously, unless it's your farm, your people, your kids, your thing, it's not yours. I don't think he was dissing your success. I think he was saying, was it ever yours to begin with? They can take it.
Our life is not ours. It's God's.
So now you get
what the hell? Now, I skipped to the perfect point. He was like, yo, somebody criticized Kanye because he was like, yo, all of the things you have, somebody, a white boy like this dude, Alex Jones, took it. So could it be really yours? He said, well, everything belongs to God. So this is black people's response. Kanye is crazy, but does that make black people crazy? Because God let Deion to leave, you know what I'm saying? God has led us to turn the other cheek. God has told us to go into their communities. I mean, God has led us to the Filipinos, you know what I'm saying? God has led us to Marxism, you know what I'm saying? Because we love everybody. I mean, God has, you know what I'm saying, let Bakari be able to stay in Georgia tonight, but, you know, he can go to Asia Town around there next week. But thank God, you know what I'm saying? Jesus has been on the main line. Man, yo, I'm sorry, Bakari. Let me end this real quick.
What he was saying.
I talked to the minister.
Oh, good. So you're not mad at
doing.
All right, forget it. I should have just did this on this whole nother thing. But okay, let's end it right there, Bakari. So let me make this hard for you, Bakari. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I'm gonna make it a little bit easier. You don't have to close out. You can make this one statement and then close out, or make it your close out. Either one you want. All right. So I want you to talk about what we just saw with Kanye West and what he was saying, but also the black superhero and white savior complex. You know what I'm saying? And is Kanye West, and start with this, is Kanye West a black superhero who has a white savior?
I don't know what Kanye Kardashian is. And he really didn't say. I'm going to be honest. I don't even know how nobody can listen to nothing he say. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. Kanye Kardashian is somebody searching for attention. He wore that black mask. He say he's a superhero. That's what he said, he was going to be the black superhero. Shit, I don't know. But I can't. I'm just being honest, man. I really don't know why nobody listens to nothing Kanye Kardashian ever said. That's the only thing I have to say about him, man. I'm just being honest with you. I can't respond to nothing that he says. Nothing that he says ever makes sense. I have no idea what he was talking about.
Yeah, I'm with Buwana. You know, you probably gonna be down in Asia Town next week, getting some Chinese rice and getting a pedicure. You know what I'm saying?
That is all right. Wherever I am, I won't be listening to Kanye Kardashian.
Bobby said,
I don't get it.
Bobby said Jesus on the man's line, tell him what he want. He said he wanted to go to Colorado and get $5 million.
Exactly. I know, Buwana, and that dude Kanye is searching for attention. Like when people talk about Dave Chappelle, I've been saw through his bullshit too. Like I don't know how scared Alex Jones may have been of a Jew. I don't know. But he was not scared when Kanye was up there calling black people the N-word. See, that's going to always stand out more to me. That's going to always stand out more to me. Like, I don't know how he would have reacted when he said Jew or whoever. But Kanye, he was comfortable with the Kardashian dude sitting up there calling black people, constantly using the N-word up there with it. Just like that Drink Champ interview where everybody say he said something about some Jews. I literally tuned that out because he was disrespected black people. So that's gonna always, that's what stand out to me. So him being shook, I don't know. But I know Kanye West sound like a damn fool sitting up there with them two white dudes, steady using that N-word. But, you know, he want attention, and he's getting the attention that he want. Anything else he said, after he sat up there with them white folks and do that, anything else he said, bam, I don't even know it no more. I'm just being honest. So if Alex Jones was shook, I would have never seen it. Because once he said that, I'm like, wow, this is the type of respect black people get. This is the type of respect that black people accept. We accept that from another black person sitting up there just because we accept it. While he's sitting up there with white boys constantly using the N-word. So that's what stood out to me, just like on the Drink Champ, when he said that about George Floyd and what he said, talking about telling them N-words to come see him, calling black folks N-words on that thing. Anything else he said, anything else he said after that, when he said about the Jews, now disrespecting black people stand out more to me. So, and that's what he did. And every opportunity he get, that's what he does. He disrespects black folks. But it's like a lot of black folks, especially a younger generation. Oh, y'all, we ain't got this, but you listen to old white folks all the time. They listen to old white folks all the time. Still follow old white folk, dead white folk rule. But when it comes to black folks, we ain't got to listen to them. Don't nobody get disrespected more than black folks. And nowadays, it's the black folks that steady bringing the disrespect. So that's how I see that interview. Even with what I just heard, what stuck out more to me was how he can sit there comfortably and say that about black folk. Sit there comfortably with that white boy and use the N-word. They're going to always stand out more to me. Always. I don't give a damn about a Jew, but they're going to always stand out more to me.
Yeah, fact. And Bakari, shouts out to Melanated Goddess. That's also, before you close out, shouts out to Melanated Goddess. And I didn't see some of Bobby comments because it was like blocked, and I had to just go back and look at it real quick. Yeah, because that's what I was hoping Bobby could have came on, because I know Bobby is the truth when it comes to this, and he could crush them way more than I can. But it be pissing me off, and I want to crush them. You know what I'm saying? I don't really like. I don't know why it moves me that way. It probably shouldn't, but I don't really like it. It makes me feel some type of way. And he said, black Marxists are really militant integrationists, multiculturalists with no race consciousness. Like all facts. He was like, the black Marxists are not African centered. They don't even know African history relevant before Karl Marx. Well, I didn't know that, but that makes a lot of sense to me now. You know what I'm saying? With Angela Davis. The black Marxist refers to us as narrow nationalists because we focus on African first. And this is what I'm saying. Like, how many lessons do it take? Like, it was the Irish, the Italian, white bitches, the Jewish, Hispanic, particularly Mexican, or all kind of Hispanic people. It was the poor whites, quote unquote, poor whites. Who else? The Asians, the Arabs. Like, they all got the power by, I wanted to say the S word, but by using us to get our power and then going against us. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many times we got to learn that lesson. You know what I'm saying? That's all facts. And he said, Marcus Garvey stated, even if the Marxists would come to power, they would still rule as white people. That's all facts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not tripping. They can't stand black Marxist mentality. Yeah, that's a fact, my brother. I wanted to read some of your comments because I wanted to. I know I wanted to build with you, and I'm glad you was here for that one. So yeah, but I'm sorry, Bakari. Go ahead and close out.
I didn't see that comment, but what he said about them being radical integrationists, and I know you keep saying Angela Davis, but she was part of the Panthers, part of the Oakland Panthers. Because I'm gonna just stop calling them the Black Panthers, because they were not the original Black Panthers. They were the Oakland Panthers. But all you have to do is study them. That's what they were. That's all they were. They were radical integrationists, and even in their group, right? Because it was all of them. It wasn't just her. I don't even know if she was the leader. But anyway, that's why you can look up and see they had Asian Panthers, they had Jewish Panthers, Scottish Panthers, white Panthers, and that's who was making the rules. Matter of fact, one of the leaders of them was a white dude, Tony Aoki, a Japanese dude, Tony Aoki or something like that, who was making rules and telling them what to do. Like I said, that's why Kwame Ture left, because anybody could just join. And even now, I didn't join the Huey P. Newton Gun Club because it's for everybody. I'm like, I'm not joining that. Then they standing out there acting like they tough. All them white boys just stopping all the black white boys just out there comfortable at the Malcolm X Festival. 2 white boys just stopping all these so-called radical groups, black radical, just asking them questions about what they doing. Till I got pissed off and told them to get the fuck from over here. This ain't for y'all. Why the hell y'all answering this white boy questions over here? We talking about Malcolm X and Marcus Garvey, and they can just stop and talk to y'all about your guns and what you plan to do with them. And y'all holding this conversation with these white boys like this shit. One of these get your motherfucking ass from over here. But hey, but we will stop. We radical. We got our guns on our side. Huey P. Newton, yo, you can join if you want. Man, get the fuck from over here. I ran them from over there. My son was laughing. People asking me why you do that. Why do y'all let everybody be so comfortable coming in your presence? Everybody. So in a sense, 90% of us have that radical integrationist spirit, because anybody can come in our presence and be comfortable except us. Anybody can go in.
And yeah. Not to cut you off, but I want to show this Bobby comment, right? He said, most HBCUs were created to educate the Negro elite and upper class to be good Negroes. And I think that's all facts. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it started with actually they initially were created for mulattoes because they were not a threat because they was half white. Then came the so-called elite, but the elite of the elite, the people that wanted to be like the Talented 10, they didn't go to no HBCU. They were allowed in like Harvard and Yale. Like what W.E.B. Du Bois, where he went? He went to Harvard or Yale. He didn't go to an HBCU. Those were the leaders of the so-called Talented 10, was not at HBCUs. Talented 10 was for mulattoes, and yes, then eventually for the elite. But the Talented 10, the leaders of that, they were not products of HBCU. Even these fraternities that's in these black schools that they call black fraternities. You can call them that if you want. I ain't mad that they do, but they were not started in HBCUs by black people. They were started like in Yale or Brown or Harvard by people who ended up being part of the Talented 10, because even though they went to those schools, they were not allowed to be in their. They are allowed to be in their fraternity. I thought he was one of them that went to.
No, he went back to Harvard later, like, or yeah, and then he was like bragging on it, like, oh yeah, I went to Harvard. You know what I'm saying? The first black person to graduate from Harvard. You know,
but most of them
great.
But most of them that was head of that Talented 10, a lot of them went there, and that's where a lot of the fraternities was. And that's where a lot of the fraternities was created. Was at those schools, and you'll find a lot of fraternities and sororities that don't do nothing. And I know people that literally left their fraternity and left their sorority because they could only do stuff for their fraternity or their sorority. Yeah, so, but it came from that talent. It came from the people that created the Talented 10.
Hey, before you keep going, hey, Buwana, what you mean? The Marcus Garvey Gun Club settled. What you mean? What settled? I don't know what you mean by that. But yeah, he did also go to first too, Bukhari. And maybe that led him to go to Harvard. Maybe, I don't know. Like on some Negro League stuff. Like, oh yeah, like Satchel Paige. Like, I know I'm great. Like, where I'm one of the greatest black players in the Negro League, but I want to prove that I'm just as good as the white boy. And maybe in W.E. Du Bois' younger days, before he grew up, he was like, yo, I want to go to Harvard, because like some of that education, you know what I'm saying, at the HBCU, led him to think like, well, if you're proper enough and you speak the most correct English and you dress appropriately enough in your European costume, that you will be accepted. And maybe HBCUs, and even in his time, taught him stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe their main goal was to overturn Plessy versus Ferguson, as opposed to building up the black schools and stuff. Like, and Plessy versus Ferguson separate but equal. So if anybody asks you about a black school, tell them see Plessy versus Ferguson, because that's what they used to tell you. But anyway, maybe like HBCUs was teaching them the only way to be equal is to have access to their stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, maybe this had been the history of Coonan and black institutions like HBCUs. Not all people, but certain key aspects have had Coon aspects to it to make it light for you, you know?
No, I'm going to say again, everything they started, I can say they learned when they went to Harvard. I can say they learned when they went to Yale. Why did they want to go to Yale? And there was no such thing as there was no such thing as HBCUs back then. In all honesty, they are called HBCUs now because that's what people call them. But there were no HBCUs. Black people, the schools were created for mulattoes. So when you're saying HBCUs, they were not HBCUs then. Black people could only get trades. Mulattoes, you can look it up. Mulattoes is the ones who went, that's who the schools were built for. They were not built for black people. Black people could only, they could get trades. They were not people call them HBCUs now because that's what they turned into. But they was actually a lot of, when they were started by white folks, like the dude that started Morehouse College. He was a general in a Confederate army.
Wait, Bukhari, I gotta stop you because that's gonna make it even worse, Bukhari. So I don't want you to go down that path. If it's not even built for us in the first place, that's gonna make it worse.
But how is that gonna make it worse? when you're blaming, because what you're doing, watch this.
No. I'm just trying to help you before you say something to make it too bad. I don't want to go down no.
But this is the thing. I don't need no help, right? But what I'm saying is, well, it sounds something like the socialists that say capitalism breeds corruption. HBCUs breeds coons. It's easy to pick out a few people today that's coons that you see on TV, but then the ones that you don't see, so that means they would just be a coon too.
Just so we don't get dragged out, I want you to understand, it's not saying that everybody who went to an HBCU automatically is a coon. I'm just talking about the leadership and the people who make the rules and determine the curriculum have too much sellout, you know what I'm saying? Too much, it's just a little bit too much sellout mentality. And then the people that get elevated, because like you're right, I'm not saying all whatever, you know what I'm saying, I'm not telling nobody to not go to HBCUs. HBCUs should be destroyed. What I am saying is we should take control of HBCUs. And there is, and I personally, I'm mixing this Marxism stuff because I'm not gonna give that stuff a pass with this HBCU stuff. And I'm a little bit mixing it, but it's because a lot of them that spit that stuff come from HBCUs. That's the problem. That's what I'm saying.
But that's why. But which ones who spit it? Tell me the Marxists that went to a HBCU. Huey P. Newton did. Angela Davis did. Angela Davis. Wait a minute. Everybody you named that was part of the Panthers, none of them, they were comfortable being able to go to a white school in California. So the black people that truly made it popular, none of them even went to an HBCU. I'm just saying.
It's not
the black people
to the HBCU. That's what I'm saying, Bukhari. I don't want you.
When you say they went to
HBCUs,
but what you said was,
I'm only talking about that class of people, though.
But what you said was, you say they are the ones that spew the Marxism. But what I said was the people, the black people that made that extremely popular in this.
The sister I'm talking about who came from an HBCU.
Wait a minute.
Michael Eric Dyson,
they did not. Angela Davis. Wait a minute. Angela Davis.
That we were just watching.
Angela Davis.
We just talked to Stephen A. Smith, and what should we call it? That's the class of people. I'm not talking about all HBCU students. That's what I'm trying to say.
But you said Marxists. Hold on. We talking about, but I was just saying Marxists, and you say, and what you said was, wait a minute, boy, because you don't like to get caught up.
I'm talking about modern day
what I am telling you, the people that made this popular amongst black people, none of them went to HBCUs. None of them who spreaded this, who started the Panthers from Oakland. Show me where they went to HBCUs. Cal Berkeley and schools like that. They were not going to HBCUs. They spreaded that to people that went to HBCUs.
Yeah, he is kind of touchy, but I ain't gonna go down to this subject. I don't want to, because this is not an indictment on HBCU. Because this stuff predates it predates the Black Panthers. This was like the civil rights generation that was like,
and I said
group, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the John. I'm not talking about all people. That's what you're trying to make it like all people who go to HBCUs. Like, no, not all. But that's what you said, though. That there's a lot of corruption in HBCU. No, I just said there's a lot of corruption, and we got to get control of our what you said. No, I said the Marxist people. I'm talking about the class of Marxists. No, I'm talking about the class of the because I was really talking about that sister that I was showing you, Bukhari. That's what I'm saying. There's a class.
And what I'm saying, and if they talk about the people
in them that come from HBCUs that have this integrationist mindset, and you can't deny that, Bukhari. There's a lot of corruption you're right. But I agree with you that they get put up on TV.
But I was just talking about Marxists.
I agree.
No, I was talking. You said Marxists. See what you're doing. You confusing them in the chat, but you can't confuse me. You said Marxists, then I started talking about Marxists. Then you go back to Roland Martin and Stephen A. Neither one of them are Marxists. We were talking about Marxists, and what you did was you went back to
the
went on another topic.
No, I'm not talking about another topic. I'm saying the kind of coon mentality that it produces. You kind of get offended when somebody's saying HBCUs make coon. I never said all HBCUs because I went out the way to make sure to say
no,
that.
what you said.
You
No,
kind of
what
get
you said.
offended
You said
right now about HBCUs, and
who's offended?
Bakari,
What you said. What you said was you say
Bakari, yes or no?
HBCUs.
Come
You
on, we
said
can't get caught up in.
HBCUs breeds coons. Is what
He
you
is trying to
said.
keep me up all
No,
night because he know what I'm trying to say.
no,
Because we had this
no.
conversation before.
But I'm just going on what you just said though. HBCUs breeds coons. And then you name the 10 people that you see on TV or 10 people who they have propped up and told you. So then I say, what about the other ones? And that is like an indictment. That is like when you say they breed. Okay, watch this, right?
Yo,
because
let
you
me go
use
back
the
to
word
this
breed.
comment. This brother is not on TV because the people I'm talking about is not on
Okay,
TV at all.
no, wait a minute. Because we watch this.
You
Since
are
you
trying
use
to
the
keep
word,
us up. You are trying to keep us
no,
up.
when
I
you
know that you're trying to do that,
when you use the word breed, right? I was a dog breeder. When people say, "What did I breed?" I bred game bred pit bulls. No if, no ands, no buts. That's what I bred. So now when you say something has been bred and that's what they're breeding,
W.E. Du
that's
Bois,
all of it.
W.E. Du Bois, they bred W.E. Du Bois who like, oh, after he came out of there, let me go to Harvard to get I'm sure Thurgood Marshall was another one who came out of HBCU. I mean, do you want me to go down the list? Because this predates the era that you're talking about. You're talking, you're going too late. You're too late to the party here. That's why I'm trying to let you off the hook.
In forecast, and you did exactly what I said you would do. You gonna name people who they have propped up. That's what I just said. You gonna name the people
so you're trying to
that
tell
you
me
know.
So you're trying to tell me the black people of today who generally get in these positions don't be on some, like, black people as a whole have this problem. I'm not understanding why you're trying to act like they don't.
Forecast. That's what I said. I said the people on TV, and then you said no. HBCUs breeds coons. I said the people you see on TV. But then you say, but they be breeding coons. And that's an indictment on everybody that went. Like everybody that went has just been turned into a coon.
And that's the reason why I said before I made the statement, it doesn't mean, that's why you put in those caveats like, oh, this doesn't apply to every single person that went to an HBCU, but
forecast, but when you use certain words,
we're talking about.
But when you use certain words, it put. But when you use certain words, it put them there.
Wait, time out, because we can go. I don't want to go down the list because I know you're trying to keep me up, and I'm not going to go down the list because.
And guess what? When you go down that list, forecast. When you go down that list, you gonna go down a list of people who went to a school that's called HBCU today. That was not HBCU then.
To sum it up,
W.E.B. Du Bois did not go to an HBCU.
You know what HBCU is? HBCU is to you what HBCU is. You're a black superhero with a white savior complex. That's what the HBCU
W.E.B. Du Bois did not go to an HBCU
white savior complex. He did.
Why is this? Why you think Bobby E. Wright put in the chat? Why you think he put in the chat? Bakari, you're right. The schools were for mulattoes, dude. Black people couldn't even get in the schools. It was for mulattoes.
Yo, so that makes it even worse. So those schools wasn't designed for us, and you're caping for them. They were designed for mulattoes, and this is the schools you're caping for. That's what I'm saying. That makes it even worse. That's why I tried to stop you when you were saying it the first time. That's what I'm saying. Your arguments is, I know you're trying to keep me up, but you're gonna cut yourself in the long run here. You know what I'm saying?
Watch this. I'm not cut at all. So watch this. So this is what I want you to do.
So you can't
this is what I want you to do
now.
No,
so okay, y'all. Let's cape.
No. Forecast. This is what you do. Forecast. This is what you do. Forecast. This is what you do. Go down the list of all the black coons that went to HBCUs. We're gonna leave them at HBCUs. Go down that list. Then tell me, do you think it's, wait a minute, tell me, wait a minute, forecast. Tell me if you think it's, tell me if you think it's more people on that list that you gonna name that went to HBCU or that's not on your list. Which one you think is gonna be more on your list that went, or ones that went that's not on your list?
You said the people that are cool, who would be more of
on your list? Is it gonna be more people on your list that went to HBCUs than not? The people that's not
I'm
gonna
with
be
you,
on
bro.
your
Nah, I'm about to go hit
list
that too,
that
bro.
went to a HBCU. What is gonna be more of?
It'll
And
probably
what
be
you
because if we have to do that, we'll have to go by percentages. It'll probably be equal percentages. Because you know why?
no,
Like that's why you mad at
it's
people
no
like Deion
forecast.
Sanders
There's
right now. You
how
know what
is
I'm
it
saying?
gonna be
Because
forecast? He
your
didn't go
blind
to an
faith in these
HBCU.
HBCUs is what got us all caught up in this Deion
He
Sanders
did
hype. I
he
wouldn't
did
even
but
pay
but
that no
he didn't
attention. But
okay,
no,
but
it's
watch this.
your blind
But
love
when
and
you
faith.
say
You gotta go, Bakari. Come on,
HBCUs
3 hours, bro.
breed when you say HBCUs breeds coons, that's an indictment. Everybody that went to the HBC is a coon, and that's absolutely asinine. So should no black people go to the HB? I bet you it's more black people on TV coon and all that that went to a white school.
I went out
Because
the
that's
way.
what you said.
Okay. So let me clear this up for everybody. I intentionally I would say, you know what I'm saying, I never said that don't go to HBCUs, and I went out the way to say don't, like, we should support HBCUs. I said, in fact, we should take over our HBCUs and make sure that they're because I do think that's important that we do take control of them, you know what I'm saying, and don't just say throw them away, you know what I'm saying. So I do got to say that. Don't just say throw them away unless you got something to replace them with, you know what I'm saying, and that's a serious thing, you know what I'm saying. So, but like what Bakari is saying, like, no, I never said throw them away, but Bakari is
He said throw them away. See, because he want to compare everybody to Jesse Jackson.
No, take control of your Jones, but make sure. I didn't even know they was built for mulatto school. So if that's the case, I know for sure that they're breeding.
Most of them, not all of them, not all of them, but most
people talking about
not
black
all of them, but most
and
like
the black mulattoes. Now I see that they are. Now I get it. Now it makes clear sense.
But most, but I'm gonna tell you, but this is the thing, right? I can tell you the ones.
Hold on,
this is the thing, but I can tell you the ones.
Hold on.
And this is why I say I stay away from private. Howard University, Morehouse, damn near every one of them that's private was completely for them only.
Hey, Bakari. Hey, I gotta say this, real quick. I'm not saying that people who say I disagree completely with that, but I don't think the people on that channel, me and Bobby was talking about are coons. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they're coons. I do think it is suspect. What their talking points are suspect, and I gotta investigate it more for myself. And Bobby probably already know what's up, but I'm not saying like the sister that be on that channel is coons or the brother that hosted is a coon. I'm not trying to say that, you know what I'm saying, that they are cool. So I do want to put that out there, you know what I'm saying?
No, but let me say this right.
Have a conversation, you know what I'm saying? I want to say that.
So now let me put this out here, because I done beat you up again. The HBCUs, most of these politicians, and I ain't gonna lie, they are a bad representation of black folk. You started calling people coons, and coons some of the smartest animals out there. But
so are monkeys, but you don't want to be called a monkey either.
Well, you got to take that up with Herschel Walker. But I agree. Those black people that get in positions that went to HBCUs, 90, I'm gonna say 90, because I'm saying because I don't want to say 98 is the only reason I'm saying 90. Percent of them is absolutely what you said they are. And there's no need for me to try to deny that. That's absolutely what they said they are. See, now I don't whoop you. I go in and say, but that is what they are. Most of the ones like.
So after you claim you won, you will say, "Oh, my whole argument was wrong." I got you. No, I'm joking, Bakari. Go ahead, finish.
This is a whole look, dude. This is a good damn conversation. I like messing with you, but yeah, but most of the ones
it's like 4 hours though. That's the thing, you know what I'm saying?
But most of the ones they are, we can go, man, because I got to get off here anyway, man. Shit, ain't no work.
We here now. Finish what you're saying. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. I should have waited till you finished.
No, you good. No, the only thing I was saying is most of them, and I do agree with that. They do when they get in position, they do sell you out. And when you said Stephen A. Smith, I was literally talking about a different conversation. I wasn't nearly trying to make them a Marxist because Stephen A. Smith done already said.
Yeah.
Black people, now I find that video and send to you. Black people dead against capitalism is out of their mind.
No. I'm just talking about all the people I was watching today, and maybe I made it personal, but yo, a lot of them have graduated and got this Africana studies. And my indictment with that is that I think people study people's ideologies, especially when they go to HBCUs and get African studies and stuff. Instead of studying history year by year and what happened, they study it through the lens of a certain ideology. And I think that ideologies get us in trouble, you know what I'm saying? So that's my only criticism for that, you know.
I'm gonna find this video. I cannot remember his name. Oh my goodness, a big fat guy. And I ain't trying to be insulting because he lost a lot of weight, but he was a big dude. And he went to, I forget what HBCU you went to, and he studied after, and he basically, and he had the same argument that you had. And he talked about, because they got mad at him because he was at an now he was at a white school before he went to an HBCU. And what he was teaching in Africana studies, they tried to fire him. He was suing the school or some over because they got mad at what he was teaching in Africana studies, because he had the same critique of it. And he is nothing like, he would be nothing like the other people who you say took Africana studies, right? From a HBCU. He went deeper than what they showed him in school, and he had the same critique.
Yeah,
if I get his name,
there's a lot of I show. Well, you should definitely show, because I want to show that again, because I showed one a long time ago that did the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And they had and they wasn't allowing them. I was like, why would a black school not allow a black teacher? But yeah, we're all about to get out of here. So yeah, Bukhari, we got to get out of here, bro.
Yeah, we got to get out of here too, man. I done beat you up again. Because you got to get up and go to work. I ain't got to get up and go to work. It's raining. I got to get up and find some work because it's been raining for damn near 2 weeks, man. I've been make it an hour, but all right, man. I might get out there and get a chance to make a few dollars.
Yeah, because you messed my ending up anyway, but I'm gonna still play it because, you know what I'm saying, shouts out to Jennifer Lewis. They trying to get on her for what she said about Kanye, but I don't think she meant no harm by it. And she a powerful sister who speak on black issues. So yeah, man. Any last words?
I don't think she meant anything about what she said either. I think she was sincere when she said, I know what you're going through because I've been through it too. So think about it. If he talking about the entertainment business and she's in the entertainment business and she been through what he been through, she probably know what he's talking about. You understand what I'm saying? And maybe those people did run Kanye crazy. And she went and got her some help to keep him going crazy. You see what I'm saying? She didn't want them to do her like that.
Yeah,
hey, but that's what happened when you chasing their dream. When they gave you a dream for you to follow. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's their dream. We need to be dreaming about taking theirs and building ours. That's my take on it anyway. I could be wrong. But by the way, Catcher Freeman lost. Herschel Catcher Freeman Walker lost. But look, I'm gonna get out of here, forecast, man, because you got to get up in the morning. And I don't know why you be trying to debate with me, man. You always lose. But I'm gonna holler at you.
Yeah, you compromised yourself tonight, Bukhari, trying to you know. But yeah, so shouts out to K Shaw, yeah, all day, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, shouts out to you, my brother.
I don't see everybody. That's another thing. I don't see everybody comments either. You be saying they don't put comments in the chat and you be speaking to people. They don't even come in my chat. I can't see them at all. K Shaw, I can't see K Shaw.
Yeah, YouTube be hating, and it could be like 50 people watching right now, to be honest with you, but it's not gonna show the amount of people they're probably watching, to be honest with you. But I do got to try to make these shows shorter so more people stay tuned and watch the whole thing, or either cut them up and stuff like that. But you know, it's still cool though. You know what I'm saying? You know, we had time. We was just, you know what I'm saying, having fun. So it's all good. So shouts out to y'all. You know what I'm saying? All right, so look, I'm gonna let Jennifer Lewis have the last word for today, y'all. And okay, so let me say this. Shout out to you, Raw. Shout out to Bawana, Koku, definitely shout out to Bobby, you know what I'm saying, like Melanated Goddess, Erica, everybody who was in the chat. I'm not sure who else. Shouts out to Bakari for coming on here. You know what I'm saying? So let me let Jennifer have the last word, just because of all the hate she was getting.
Yeah, yes, sir. I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. Same children. I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. Cause ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. So what?
Forecast, ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah. Yo, watch this one, yo.
Yeah. That Flint. I just got back from Flint. Yeah. That Flint. I saw that dirty water with my own eyes. But not to my surprise, Governor Snyder, you're not much of a provider, 'cause Flint ain't fixed. Flint ain't fixed. Flint ain't fixed. Flint ain't fixed. The children up there are sick. The lead in the water is thick. Flint ain't fixed.
Facts. Yeah, that's facts, Bakari. Yeah, so you want to say something?
Flint ain't fixed. You ain't lying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, you forgot to send the last. So let me get a shout out to this young brother. When everybody on the Dion, his #1 O-line recruit, I can't even remember his name, but anyway, from Lexington, Mississippi, I think Lexington High School. He was a 3-star recruit. He signed with Jackson State. He committed to Jackson State when Coach Dion left, because he ain't prime no more. When Coach Dion left, and when Dion left, they thought he was going to leave. He said him going to Jackson State wasn't just about Dion, so he's staying. His commitment is still firm. He's not leaving because Dion left. He will be playing at Jackson State. So I'm going to give him a shout out for being strong enough to stay.
Yep. Give him a shout out. Shout out to that brother. I gotta give a shout out to Raw, like always, the realest, you know. And I definitely gotta give a shout out to my brother Bobby E. Wright. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you came through, and I'm glad you gave your perspective. I'm with you on that, my brother. Like they be tripping, you know what I'm saying? But you know, it's the curse, you know what I'm saying? Like we're looking for the black superhero, and they show up sometimes like in the form of Deion Sanders, but a lot of our black superheroes have this white savior complex, whether it be Marxism, white Jesus, or, you know what I'm saying, whatever it may be, Farad Muhammad. We can go down the line, you know what I'm saying? It's always this white savior complex, even with our black superheroes, even in our movies, to where, you know what I'm saying, our superheroes is helping our oppressors oppress us, you know what I'm saying? Yo, I don't know, man. I know that the black messiah is black unity. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand. They don't look at life the way we look at it. And the more we try to look at it through their eyes, the more sick we're going to be. You know what I'm saying? Once we look at it through our own eyes, you know what I'm saying, we'll realize that the black superhero and the black savior, And the Black Messiah is Black unity, because at the end of the day, we are all we got. So as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're going to keep falling for anything.